Ooh, let's go, Commanders fans. Happy Victory Monday, guys. We are in the NFC Championship. It is surreal. Anytime, anywhere, anybody can get it. Went to Detroit, 8 Mile, ate the food off their plate. Ben Johnson, who got a job today, talking about basketball guys doing trick plays and whatnot. You can see Jared Goff was nervous. Ben Johnson was nervous on the sideline talking about basketball guys and wanting a different quarterback other than Jaden Daniels. And we put him out of there, man. And Ben Johnson was thinking about getting a job somewhere else and hiring a different staff. You could tell he was checked out. We got him up out of there. Yeah, Free World and 313. Shout out to Bradley Campbell. De'Ami Brown stepping up. Heard what Armon Ross St. Brown said and got an and one catch on Kirby Joseph and one big catches from De'Ami Brown. De'Ami Brown has been not a hometown hero, but he has been an unsung hero for sure throughout these playoffs. So he heard the noise. He heard what Armon Ross St. Brown said and all that. We heard what Dan Campbell had to say, talking about the Vikings. We're going to meet the Vikings in the playoffs again. They didn't get that chance because we put the Lions up out of there. They're both in Cancun. NFC North is done. And we're standing on business, man. We're standing on business. Why not us, guys? We're going to party like it's 1991, man. It's been 33 years since we made the NFC Championship. We are witnessing history at this point. We are seeing a rookie quarterback, a new head coach, new GM, new staff, basketball guys go to the NFC Championship. Jaden Daniels has made an NFC Championship before Dak Prescott. Let that sink in. All the years that Dak Prescott has been in the league, Jaden Daniels is already there as a rookie to the NFC Championship, guys. 45 points on the road in Detroit in a hostile environment. Remember the other podcast was like, with your third worst rush defense and your rookie quarterback, you think you're going to come in here and stop that? And you're going to stop that? You're going to stop us from getting to the NFC Championship? Yeah, we did. With our third worst rushing defense, we did that. With our rookie quarterback, guess what? He did that. He did that. All those 4th down conversions, the beautiful pass to De'Ami Brown, the screen catch by Terry scampering up the field for 60 yards up the field, breaking tackles, toe tapping on the sideline, getting into the end zone, cooking Kirby Joseph, who was a All-Pro, cooking Kirby Joseph. We got Zach Ertz getting a touchdown. Zach Ertz converting on 4th and 5. Terry on a 4th and 2. Brian Robinson decided to show up. He had 70 yards on the ground and 2 tutties. B-Rob stepped up. We had a big game from B-Rob. We had a pick 6 from Mikey Sanders. We had a pick 6 from Quan Martin, and we had 2 picks from a rookie. 2 picks from a rookie. And somebody brought up Jameson Williams with that disrespectful – almost said something else. With that disrespectful touchdown celebration. That's what set it off. That's what set it off. When Jameson Williams did that disrespectful touchdown celebration, that's what set it off for sure. But, man, we got a pick 6, guys. Ball is life. We talking ball is life. When we get a pick 6, that's how you know we're winning the game. When we got that pick 6 from Quan, I was like, yeah, this is it. That's it. That's ball game. We're winning this game. So I didn't want to do a stream. So I wanted to do a regular video today, but I just didn't have time. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do a live stream tonight at 7:30. And then I looked up, I was like, oh my gosh, so Ohio State Notre Dame is at 7:30. But I know we're just so excited, guys, where it's like we need to celebrate this. We need to enjoy this and soak the moment in and enjoy this, guys. I mean, this is something that we haven't done in years and years and years. In my lifetime, I haven't seen an NFC Championship. I just haven't. And we own Detroit too, man. 3-0 in the playoffs against Detroit. We just own them. 8 Mile. We just own Detroit. Detroit is our city. That's like another home game for us in the playoffs. It's just another home game. Wherever we play Detroit, we know we're going to beat them. That's just – it is what it is with that. It is what it is. So I had to do a stream tonight, guys. I thank you guys for pulling up to celebrate. I got the Ohio State game on myself in Notre Dame. So I'll be watching, and we'll see the guy, Emeka Oboku or whatever his name is, the wide receiver. They got 2 good running backs, Quinshawn Judkins, and the other guy, Trayvon Henderson, I believe is his name. But we're going to be picking very late in the draft. This is so weird. We're going to be picking so late in the draft. I'm not thinking about the draft, but I'm just saying, like, so many weird things, like picking, like, 28th or 27th or even 30th or how many other teams are in the NFL. Was it like 30 teams in the league, 32, 30? I know the NBA is like 32, I believe, or this might either way, we might be the last team in the draft, guys. You know how weird that is? Like we're gonna be waiting in the draft forever and ever to get to our pick. That's gonna be so cool. Like it's so different. It just is. I mean, we have a legit shot to win the Super Bowl. ESPN glazing us. Damian Woody, Alex Smith, and I like Alex Smith, but he said something insane today. I could just go on a tangent. He was like, Pat Mahomes has less weapons than what Jaden Daniels is dealing with, and that's just insane. Like it's just crazy to say. I know Alex Smith, I guess he's being a homer to the Chiefs or whatever, but him saying that, and no knock to Uzi. Diami's been playing big time football. Zach Ertz, who's 34, 35, has stepped up. No Yak Zach has been getting a little bit of yak here and there. It doesn't even matter if he gets yak or not. As long as he's moving the chains, that's all that really matters for Zach Ertz for me, because that's what he does. He's a chain mover. Austin Eckler, moving the football, screen catches, regular routes, running the football. Austin Eckler, he's been an unsung hero out there getting healthy. Jonathan Allen stepped up. I was talking about offense for the most part with the weapons. But to say that we have more weapons than the Chiefs, the rookie quarterback's working with, I mean, that's just insane for Alex Smith to say. It really is. It's just crazy for him to say. But I always respect Alex Smith with the compound fracture in his leg, looking like a chicken leg after it was, when they showed the documentary, it looked like a drumstick that was baked in the oven. But Alex Smith was tripping on that. He really was. He was tripping, but it's all good. Pat McAfee going crazy about Jaden Daniels. Stephen A. Smith going crazy about Jaden. I mean, who has not? Like, the national media is loving us. And it's kind of like, who cares about the national media? But, man, like, a lot of people are on us right now. Yes, we do have a tough test in Philly. We'll talk about that, of course, throughout the stream. I'm excited to get another game against them. And it could be, I mean, this is, we're talking about rivalries, guys. We talk about how the Dallas rivalry is dead and all this. Like, this could be a newfound rivalry with Philly, like going back and forth. Like, when was the last time you saw an NFC East team play in the NFC Championship? I know stuff like that used to happen back in the early 90s and 80s when we were up and we were winning, because I know we beat Dallas in the playoffs that one year back in the 90s, and people talk about that game all the time, So I got to go back on YouTube and watch that, to pull out the VHS tapes and watch that stuff. But, man, like, we could be starting a legitimate rivalry with the Eagles where we may see them time and time again in the playoffs. And you got Dallas looking at us like the SpongeBob meme from Squidward at the top of his house, and he's looking at SpongeBob and Patrick running around in the playoffs. I mean, that's basically what's going on with Dallas right now. So, I mean, we really could be starting a legitimate rivalry, NFC East rivalry with the Eagles, for years to come. So we got to take care of business against them, but definitely enjoyed what we did to a legitimate offensive juggernaut team in the Lions. You saw what they did to the Jaguars, who are awful. They beat them 52-14. They beat the Titans 45 to something. I mean, they got weapons on weapons. Jameer Gibbs, David Montgomery, Armon Ross St. Brown, who's got to get on his podcast. I definitely want to hear what Armon Ross St. Brown has to say on his podcast. He dyed his hair blue like he was Dennis Rodman. So I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to hear his reaction to the game and whatnot. And he should definitely have Jaden Daniels on there as a guest, or Terry McLaurin, one of the commanders on there, just to talk about how we beat up on them and skunked them in their own house 45-31, So that's what I'm waiting for on Armon Ross St. Brown, to see that. And they had LeAngelo Ball do the pregame show, Swerve on him. Swerve been the corner well. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to get the comments. But like I said, I mean, I'm just so excited, guys. The adrenaline is pumping still. Even though the game was Saturday night, the adrenaline is still pumping, man. It's still pumping. The adrenaline is going to be there forever and ever and ever. Like I said, that was a historical moment to go in there and do that in a hostile environment and execute on fourth downs. Cliff Kingsbury was in his bag. I thought Joe Wood Jr. did some good things. Other guys stepped like John Allen had one of his best games in a long time. Like a 90.2 PFF grade. He had 9 pressures in the game. We talked about him stepping up. We're getting healthy at the right time. We really are getting healthy at the right time. And I know Detroit had a lot of guys out, but it's not excuses, So I get it. I get Detroit had a lot of injuries, but we took advantage of that. They still blitzed a lot. They played a lot of man, and they should have known better. Like, you blitzing Jaden Daniels, you know what he's going to do to you. You playing man coverage against Jaden Daniels, you know he's going to tear you up. He's going to tear you up. And that's the worst kind of defense you want to play against Jaden Daniels, a guy who can run and throw the ball very well. Now, Baltimore, they let me down because I wanted a battle of the Beltway Super Bowl, but the Ravens, they choked that away. Mark Andrews had hands like a snake. But we took care of business on our side. We took care of business, guys, in a hostile environment, man. So, I mean, Dan Quinn, everybody chipped in some way somehow. Sam Cosmi, unfortunate ACL injury, and that just hurts, man. It hurts. It hurts my soul seeing that. He's had a darn good season. Definitely could have used him against Jalen Carter and company for the Eagles, but I'm hoping a speedy recovery. I'm hoping he's going to be there a little bit for the season because this is such a late in the season injury in the postseason. January 18th is when the injury happened, so I mean, like, he may miss a little bit of time in a regular season. Like, I would be prepared for that. So that's like the only like negative thing about the game is that Sam Cosmi got injured. That's the only thing I can look at and be like, that's the only like tough thing that happened. But even Trent Scott, he stepped in and played well at guard. So you can talk about who do you want to replace Sam Cosmi at right guard. They probably will go in with Trent Scott at right guard, but you could have so Chris Paul's on the practice squad, I believe. They probably will elevate him. And they have some people were saying that you could kick Andrew Wiley into right guard and then have Cornelius Lucas at right tackle. You could do that. So those are some of the options there for replacing Sam Cosmi or having somebody step in for Sam Cosmi for the last 2 games of the season. Yes, I say the last 2 games of the season. So, yeah, Bobby Digital said, any news on Noah Brown? Yeah, that's interesting, too, because I know Dan Quinn said he was out for the season. He was out for the foreseeable future with the kidney laceration, I believe. So, you know, I know that's going to take some time. So I know our season's going so long to the point where it's like, you know, is Noah Brown available to come back? But honestly, I was thinking about this earlier a little bit too, was that, you know, Noah Brown being out, is that just such a huge part of De'Ami Brown stepping up, you know, because it gives De'Ami Brown more opportunities. And now De'Ami Brown legit is wide receiver number 2. De'Ami Brown, when the season is over after the Super Bowl or whenever, I'm you know, you can't resign him until March, but yeah, I mean, I don't think you you got to come up with a deal as soon as possible for De'Ami Brown. You got to sign him back, and it's not going to break the bank because, you know, he still had a pedestrian kind of season, but this postseason, he put it on a darn show. He put on a darn show. I mean, to have an and 1 catch like that where Kirby Joseph basically poked him in the eye. And I don't think Kirby Joseph did it on purpose because we know Kirby Joseph is known for being dirty. But to do that on like a 40-yard catch, that was insane. And he dropped his first pass too. Like, De'Ami had it wasn't a bad drop, but it was clearly a drop. The guy did hit the ball out of his hands, but you got to come down with that for De'Ami to come back and bounce back like that. That was insane. De'Ami Brown led us in receiving yards for 2 games in a row. 2 playoff games, he's led us in receiving yards. He had 98 yards this game. And then he had how much against the Buccaneers? He almost had basically the same, like 89. He had 89 yards against the Buccaneers. He had 5 catches for 89 yards. Again, yeah, 5 catches for 89 yards and a touchdown against the Buccaneers. His longest catch was for 30 yards. And he blocked really well for the Terry touchdown. Like, that was him and OZ on the left side. They blocked really well. They did a heck of a job. We talked about screen plays and how guys haven't blocked well, but De'Ami Brown is physical. He blocks well. He's running routes well. I think he's a really good compliment to Terry McLaurin. Like I said in my video, you should still either draft another wide receiver or sign another receiver. But if De'Ami plays like this, man, he's legit wide receiver number 2. And he's, to me, honestly, he's a really good compliment to Terry. He's not like 6'4" or 6'5", anything like everybody wants. But I think like he has more untapped potential, I feel like, in his bag. And he can do some other things. He can do some end arounds. He can do screen catches. He breaks tackles. He's elusive. So he's showing that he's more than just the go route guy that people stereotyped him to be coming out of North Carolina. And he's doing that, man. It's crazy, like, for him to do that after, you know, it looked like he was down and out in his career, really, honestly. This if he didn't show up this year, then he definitely wouldn't be back next year. But he showed up big time. So I love what De'Ami Brown has done. He's been an X factor. He's been a key to victory, and he's going to have to do it again on Sunday. He's going to have to do it again. Quinyon Mitchell is injured. He's going to play, but he's hampered with shoulder injury. So I expect Terry to get after Quinyon. I expect De'Ami to get after Cooper DeJean. I don't think their corners can really match up with our guys. And you saw what happened last game. OZ went crazy. Jamison Crowder went crazy. Terry had a big catch on Quinyon Mitchell, fake Guantanamo Bay. So I feel like our receivers can get after it, and the weather's going to be good on Sunday. It's not going to be a crazy snow game. I'm happy that it's not going to be a snow game because I think the snow helps the Eagles out. If it just comes down to who's running the ball over and over again, then the Eagles, they have an advantage in that sense with Saquon Barkley. But if the weather is fine, I think we have the advantage clearly. And I think, honestly, Matt Stafford, he choked it away with that last pass. But I think if the weather was a little bit better, then that would have helped Stafford out in the Rams in the pass game with Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. But the Eagles they took care of business at the end of the game. Commander Joe says, Ed, Detroit did a touchdown celebration that consisted of digging a hole and putting themselves in it. They already knew what time it was. Like I said, yeah, when Jahmyr Gibbs did that crazy celebration like that egregious, inappropriate interception, celebration, that was it, honestly. And then when we got the pick six, that was it. Even after the pick six, I think they scored after that. I think that was actually exactly when they scored the Jameson Williams touchdown. I'm going to pull up the play-by-play here so I can be accurate on this stuff here. Because I know we went into the half 31-21. Mikey Samerstill, how about the pick that he had before the half, though? That was incredible. I mean, he was like, I'm going to just run the route for you, man. I'm going to just run the route for you. Mikey Samerstill, for him to be a rookie and do that is just insane. I love how he trained with Darrell Green at times in the offseason. Joe Gibbs was at the game. So Joe Gibbs has always been a big supporter of the franchise. Joe Gibbs was at the game. Darrell Green has been training, helping out Mikey Samerstill. I was saying that, hey, like, why haven't we seen our first round pick from 2023 training with Darrell Green, but we see the second round pick of Mikey Samerstill training with Darrell Green? I always questioned that. I was like, why is that happening? But Mikey Samerstill, he's that guy, man. He really is. He's that guy. For him to run the route for Jameson Williams and step up, turn and flip his hips, and be ready for the football and catch the football. You know how many interceptions we've seen us drop? Everybody was on point. There were no dropped interceptions. So that's what I always say. A key to victory is no dropped interceptions. You have to catch interceptions. I know it's cliche or something that we always say, but I'm serious. How many times have we seen guys drop interceptions? We didn't see one dropped interception. I don't think I saw one. Jeremy Chin caught the interception at the end of the game. Quan Martin got the pick six. Mikey got the 2 picks. He got the one from Jameson Williams. Shout out to Ben Johnson for the silly trick play that Ben Johnson did. Now he's going to be with the Bears with Caleb Williams, a team that we ended their season. So hopefully we do that again. But, man, like, we were on point with catching interceptions, forcing fumbles. Dorrance Armstrong was huge. That was a huge forced fumble. We literally just did not get a fourth and 1. And I didn't like the play call with the whole Mariota thing. I know the Mariota sneak, it worked against the Cowboys or it worked against the Buccaneers last week. But I was like, nah, either run the ball with Jaden or tighten up and toughen up and run the ball with B-Rob. Even though B-Rob was actually getting pushed this game. The last couple games he has gotten pushed, but I'd rather do that than do a sneak with Mariota. I know Mariota was supposed to hand it off, and I saw Mariota and B-Rob were having conversations. B-Rob was pretty upset, which is understandable in a playoff game. But I was like, man, this is a momentum killer here. You can't have any margin for error. And then Dorrance Armstrong forces the fumble where they were in our territory. And that was a huge forced fumble by Dorrance. And we're falling on fumbles. We're just doing the little things, guys. The nooks and crannies, the little small things like getting on the fumble. Bobby Wagner last week against the Buccaneers, quickly pouncing on the fumble, stuff that we see that we usually don't do. When there's a fumble on the ground, we saw the Eagles in the game on Thursday Night Football. They quickly got on the fumble when Saquon fumbled, I think. And on Thursday Night Football or stuff like that, we don't really get on fumbles like that. And this is what Joe Witt Jr. was preaching. Joe Witt Jr. just had an interview with the Jets. And coaches, GM candidates, front office guys are probably going to be leaving soon because we're doing so well. Lance Newmark had an interview with the Jets, and he's probably going to get that job. Anthony Lynn has been interviewed by the Cowboys. They've been interviewing everybody, though, under the sun. Same thing with the Jets. And Cliff's going to stay. That's it, guys. He's going to stay, which I think is a good thing. I like that our rookie quarterback doesn't have to bounce around and have a bunch of offensive coordinators because we've seen that with Jason Campbell. We've seen that with a lot of quarterbacks that had to, adjust to a different offensive coordinator. So I do like that we're going to have that consistency with Jaden and Cliff next year. I think they're going to get even better. And we're going to have a better roster next year. And I don't want to talk about next year too much, but I'm just saying with the coaching updates. So those are the coaching updates I wanted to go over because I was going to make a regular video about it. I still may make a regular video about it. Excuse me, about some of the coaching stuff. So if you didn't know, Anthony Lynn has interest in going to the Cowboys, and the Cowboys have interest in hiring Anthony Lynn. Also, like I said, Lance Newmark is being interviewed by the Jets. He probably will get the Jets job as the general manager. A lot of people are saying that, and he's done a good job with Adam Peters as whatever role that he has in the front office. And then Cliff has had a bunch of interviews requested, but he shut them down, which is a good thing. I like that. And you see the opposite with Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson was interviewing all over the place. And Ben Johnson, 2 days later, after getting skunked at home or beat up on at home, getting belted you-know-what at home, signs a deal with the Bears and already has a coaching staff in place with a defensive coordinator, Dennis Allen, who most likely is going to be his hire. So was Ben Johnson's mind in a different place? You know, Dan Quinn always talks about be where your feet are, and Cliff is his feet are where they are, if you get what I'm saying. And that's what I like about Cliff. You know, I don't mind guys taking interviews. Like Joe Wood Jr. is doing interviews right now with the Jets and whatnot, but I like how Cliff has dialed in and locked in. And Cliff really wanted to quiet the noise of, you know, the last time Cliff was in the playoffs with the Cardinals, you saw they got skunked. And Cliff is doing his thing. He's doing a great job with Jaden. Jaden's showing up as always, of course, and getting that run game going with B-Rob too, man. And the 4th down play calls too on 4th and 2, 4th and 5, 4th and 2 to Zach Ertz, the 4th and 2 to Terry McLaurin. And then we got the pass interference that Terry McLaurin forced on Kirby Joseph. So, I mean, shout out to Cliff, man. Cliff's doing a good job. He's doing a good job. He's if he wants to be a head coach, he'll be able to go. If not this year, the next year for sure. He's going to get a job somewhere. So that's why he's not rushing. I respect that. Now you look on the Eagles side, Kellen Moore, he's ready to go to the Cowboys. So that's another thing you can look at too. We're going to play against another offensive coordinator that is already looking ahead and has a foot out the door. Kellen Moore has a foot out the door. So pay attention to that, guys. Pay attention to that. All right, I'm gonna get to some comments here, guys. I've been talking for 22 minutes, like I said, because I'm just so excited. I'm so hyped. I mean, the adrenaline's pumping as always. I mean, how could it not? How could it not be pumping? How could it not be pumping? Key himself 60 minutes away from a Super Bowl. Yes, sir, man. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Like, I can imagine the NFC Championship T-shirts, the hats, all kinds of stuff, the merchandise. Like, I can't wait, man. Going up to Philly, we have a good chance. We're 5-point underdogs, which is actually pretty good. We were 10-point underdogs against the Lions. So that's actually kind of showing us some respect there. Jalen Hurts is hurt, but, you know, he'll be playing. You know, his leg got bent backwards. He didn't really leave the game, I don't think. And he's going to play. And so, I mean, we got to get after Jalen Hurts. We got after Jalen Hurts. Frankie Luvu, man, like I said, I mean, you know, Eagles fans hate Frankie Luvu. Frankie Luvu, he might have to do his thing again. We saw what he did to Jared Goff. He almost got Jared Goff up out of there. And like I said, I'm not head hunting or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, if you got to hit somebody, hit somebody. It is what it is. I'm not like Lions fans who said they wanted to see Jaden Daniels on a blue 10 if he runs, and Bears fans saying that they want to hurt Jaden Daniels. I'm not saying none of that. I'm just saying play football. That's all I'm saying. Put a hat on a hat. That's all I'm saying with Jalen Hurts. Put a hat on a hat. And if he wants to run and all that stuff, hey, you know, go ahead and tackle him. I'm not saying I'm not going to be like a Bears fan or a Lions fan and say we're going to put him in a blue 10. I'm just saying, hey, we're just going to play football. We're going to hit. Frankie Lou is going to hit. He's going to hit somebody. Settle Down said, we've broken so many teams. Why not the Eagles? Yeah, we need to take them out. We need to go in their house and take them out. I think there's going to be a good showing of Commanders fans, too. The lowest ticket that I saw was $815. I think it's up to like $1,000 now for like the nosebleed seats, up very high. As high as you can go up is like $1,000 to get in there. But this is going to be – it's an easy travel. The weather's not going to be awful. It's going to be about 41 degrees. So – I feel like there's going to be a good amount of Commanders fans in there. Are we going to take over the stadium? Maybe not, but like Tampa. But I think there's going to be a really, really good showing in there. Free World and 313. Shout out to Bradley Campbell. What's up, man? Brian, it's always 33. Says, hello, Ed, Joe, Key, Settle, Bradley, and the rest. What's up, man? What's going on, man? KT said, what's good, y'all? Shout out to KT. KT is a channel member. Shout out to KT. Thank you for being a channel member. I appreciate you on that. Tommy Harrison said, can we please put Luke McCaffrey in the game Sunday? I mean, he's been in the game. He's returning kicks. So that's good. You know, he's been doing that. So he's been contributing some way. So I appreciate Luke doing that. But as far as like getting in the game, I got to look at the snap count too. Let me pull up the snap count if I can find the snap count here real quick and see how many snaps he got. But honestly, like, I mean, if Diami's playing good football like that, I would love to see Luke get in the mix too. But honestly, like, I mean, if Diami's going to step up like that, then this is kind of like it is what it is on that, you know. But I love Luke, man. I want to yell Luke when he gets in the ball game. Like, I love doing that. And who knows? I mean, he could be the unsung hero in the playoffs. There's always an unsung hero. There's always an X factor, somebody who you didn't expect to step up. They step up, and that could be Luke McCaffrey on Sunday. I mean, it was Dyami Brown the last two games. You know, you just never know who could be that unsung hero and that X factor to come out of nowhere and play. So I don't see the snap count. Nobody really posted the snap count on Twitter as I see. I know Ben Standig usually post. Okay, so yeah, here's the snap count. I just want to say how many snaps Luke McCaffrey got. So Luke got 8 snaps. He got 6 special team snaps. We didn't punt the ball. We only punted the ball one time. We have punted one time in 2 playoff games. That's insane. That's unheard of. It really is. To punt one time in 2 playoff games, that's insane, especially for a rookie quarterback. But it's like you don't even look at Jaden as a rookie at all because of the way he plays football. And then you look at the other wide receivers. OZ played 33 snaps. Jamison Crowder played 30. Terry McLaurin played 70 snaps. Dyami Brown played 62 snaps. So Dyami Brown played 83% of the snaps. Zach Ertz played 51 snaps. He played 68% of the snaps. And then that's it for the wide receivers. You know, KG Osborne has been inactive. Chris Rodriguez was inactive. And who else is in the wide receiver core? I think like Chris Moore, guys like that. But like I said, Dyami Brown's he's gonna get majority of the snaps. Dyami's gonna get majority of the snaps. OZ is gonna get a good amount of snaps for 33. Jameson Crowder 30, and then Luke McCaffrey 8. So that's probably what it's gonna be again against the Eagles. And he's probably not gonna get a lot of snaps. But like I said, I mean, hey, if he steps up and gets a bunch of snaps, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I think he's ready. He gets open. He creates separation. Him and Jaden just have to be on the same page. Red House, not Roadhouse. Thank you for the donation. He says, "What up, Ed? I like our chances Sunday. Eagles are one-dimensional." Yeah, I love our chances too. I love our chances against anybody. I love our chances against the Chiefs. I mean, it's not crazy to say that stuff anymore. It's not. It's not crazy to say that. Like, our confidence is sky high. We're hot. Nobody wants to play us. We're balling right now. Yes, our defense is giving up some yards, but they create turnovers. And sometimes that's just what you need, man. That's just what you need. You need an opportunistic defense that can create turnovers and bend and not break. And when they do get a turnover, they flip the field. Quan Martin flipping the field. Mikey Samuelson, I don't know why he took it out of the end zone. It is what it is on that. But we have guys that when they get a turnover, they can take it to the house like Quan Martin did. Quan Martin, when he got the pick against the Falcons, he put us in good field goal range too. He put us in good range, and we ended up scoring the touchdown when he got that pick against Michael Penix on the first defensive possession of the game. So Quan Martin's getting better with that. I love that with a passion. So when you have that combination, if we can turn the ball over and force Jalen Hurts to fumble, get an interception, get in A.J. Brown's head, Marshawn Lattimore, revenge game against A.J. Brown, for sure. Marshawn Lattimore, I got to give him his props. 0 catches allowed, 0 yards allowed, 1 target. They didn't test him. It was Lattimore Island. That's the Lattimore that we're looking for. That's the Lattimore that we traded for. And he stepped up big time. He played well. Like I said, John Allen played well. Mikey Sanders still 2 picks. Noah Igbenogany, he got beat one time, but other than that, I thought Noah I was fine. We didn't see Ben St. Juice out there on the field, which is fine. So guys stepped up and played well, man. Like I said, I've given Marshawn Lattimore a tough time too because, you know, he's barely played, and I know it's a hamstring injury, but when he's been out there, you know, he's been a little handsy, and I don't think all of it's his fault. Sean Hockley is the ref for the game. That does concern me. That's probably out of all the concerns other than Saquon. That's probably my second biggest concern is Sean Hockley is the lead ref. I mean, he tried to cheat us against the Saints with the letting the play stopping the clock. So, and the Eagles are undefeated. I think they're undefeated or have a really good record when Sean Hockley is the lead ref or his crew, and then we have a really bad record when he's our crew. So there's something to that. I do believe there's something to that. So we got to be we're probably gonna have to beat the Eagles and the refs on Sunday. Right? It is what it is, and we've been able to do that for sure. But I love our chances, man. You got to get to Jalen Hurts. You got to pressure him. You got to slow down Saquon. You may have to sell out to slow down the run for whatever reason. Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown haven't really been on the same page. A.J. Brown wants to read books on the sideline. I mean, nothing against reading books, but I just feel like you should be locked into the game. But him and A.J. Brown have not been on the same page. Jalen Hurts has kind of done his Alex Smith impersonation, but he's been able to, run. And he ran for that 44-yard run. But other than that, I get it was the weather too. But, they just – the passing game has not been prolific with Jalen Hurts in there for really a good amount of the season. And he still may be feeling that hit from Frankie Luvu a couple weeks ago. The Rams got pressure on him too. Jared Verse and those guys, like, you can get to Jalen Hurts. You can get pressure on Jalen Hurts. So I want to see what Frankie does, Dorrance. And John Allen, Deron Payne, those guys, I want to see what they do for sure. Cleveland Farrell gets some pressure. Send Bobby Wagner on a couple blitzes, whoever. You can get pressure on Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts got sacked 7 times. He got sacked 7 times against the Rams. So we can do that type of formula and force a turnover. I think we should be fine. And, of course, Saquon Barkley. You have to slow him down. Got to slow him down. I think the magic number for Saquon is to keep him under 80 yards. If he gets to like 100, 120, 125, we still beat him last time where he had 125 yards and 2 touchdowns. But if you can keep Saquon around that 70 yards, 80 yards rushing, then I think you can win. I know Jahmyr Gibbs went crazy. Bucky Irvin had a good game, and we still won. That's the thing. We can still win with giving up rushing yards. That's just how good of a team we've been, our offense has been. But I think you want to keep Saquon around 70 to 80 yards on the ground, if that's possible. Grande Groove, thank you for the donation. He says, Ed, has been a long time coming. Thank you for making content through all the 3 and 13 draft and trash docs. Jahan Dotson and the dark good culture. Yes, we've seen it all, guys. We saw the 3 and 13 and the bad draft picks, Jamin Davis, Emmanuel Forbes, Chase Young's no longer on the roster. I mean, all the first-round picks that we've seen. Rest in peace, Dwayne Haskins. Yes, we've seen it all, guys. Bruce Allen, Dan Snyder. I don't want to traumatize you guys. I just want to keep our eyes on the prize for sure. But you guys – understand the pain. There's beauty in the struggle. And this is what makes this so much even better. When you've been down bad for years and years and years, 30 years, and you just haven't seen the light, you finally get out of the tunnel. You see the Hail Mary, you see the Hail Jaden, Hail Maryland, Hail Noah, whatever you want to call it. Stuff like that happens. You see the overtime victory. We are the cardiac commanders. We win on last plays of the game. Even Marcus Mariota going there and making a big pass to Terry McLaurin on the last play of the game, one of the last plays of the game. We were the overtime victory against the Falcons, the beating the Eagles the way that we did in the last minute of the game. I mean, all the games that we have won other than the Lions game have been a very close 3-point divisional doink type of game against the Buccaneers. So when teams know how to win in those tough situations, there's like a stat, I got to find that too. All the teams that have won so many games, so many close games, they usually go really far in the playoffs. And just the camaraderie we have and the confidence that we have. We know when JD5 gets a chance, and that's the only reason why we lost to the Steelers is because of that terrible call. But like when he gets a chance to get the ball back with all he needs is like really a minute left. All he needs is a minute left in the game and to be down by either 3 or 5 or 6. And we still have a chance. I mean, that's just how much this team has confidence in Jaden Daniels. And even when we won the coin toss against the Buccaneers, like he was just so cool, calm, and collected. Like his facial expression just does not change. It does not change. And Terry was so confident when we got the ball first against Tampa, like, hey, we're going to win this game, man. And we churn the clock, too. It's like we're so smart in just taking the clock, just churning that clock, tick, 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 tick. Taking the clock down against the Buccaneers, winning that game, and then taking the clock down against the Falcons too, and just having a walk-off touchdown. I mean, we just know what to do when we get the football. We don't play around with it, man. We don't play around with the football. That's what we do. That's what Jaden Daniels does. But yes, man, the culture is darn good right now, man. The culture is darn good. The culture is very good. It's a great culture. A lot of people want to come here now. Adam Schefter said players want to come here. We got coaches that are going to get taken away, and front office of people that are going to be taken away pretty soon here. So I mean, and this is guys' first year here. Joey Jr. already getting interviews, and Cliff getting interviews, and Lance Newmark, first year here, he's probably going to leave. Excuse me. Chopper City, thank you for the donation. He says, glad we played the Eagles. The game should be the primetime game. Excuse me. Instead of the Chiefs versus Bills, will it be Bills versus Commanders Super Bowl 1991 rematch? I mean, that would be lovely. That would be lovely. Sorry, just had to get some secret stuff here. So yeah, Ohio State looks like they're moving the ball. They got a couple good receivers, but I'm glad we played the Eagles. So yes, Super Bowl rematch would be awesome, man, against the Bills. I can see that happening too, and I feel like if we play the Bills, we're going to beat the Bills. I really feel that way. I think it's going to be just a full circle moment, and there's been a lot of full circle moments this season too. As you know, 30 years ago we beat, not 30 years, but 20 years ago we beat the Buccaneers in 2005, and then we beat them in 2025. Then the Lions, we've owned them in the playoffs, and we beat them in the playoffs. Mark Brunell is on the Lions staff, and he was the quarterback in 2005 when we had our last playoff win. Antoine Randall is on their staff too. So just a lot of full circle moments. So it would make a lot of sense. And we own the Bills in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl. The NFC East owns the Bills in the Super Bowl. So I just see that happening. I could definitely see that happening for sure. So that would be a full circle moment. That would be a full circle moment for sure. Shout out to Carla P. She says, congratulations to the Washington Commanders. What a great win. Praying for Sam. Excuse me. HCTR, HCTC, raise hell. Shout out to Carla P. She's been watching the channel for a long time. Yeah, Sam Cosme being out is going to hurt. Red Wing says no Dieter. Michael Dieter. Brian is always 33 says, I'm not a fan of Dieter filling in though. So it's not going to be Dieter, guys. It's most likely going to be Trent Scott at right guard, or if not Trent Scott, then you could. Some people are saying that you could put in Andrew Wiley at right guard, and then put Cornelius Lucas at right tackle. So a lot of people are saying that, but I think what they're going to do is put Trent Scott at right tackle and just keep him that. I mean, sorry, Trent Scott at right guard, and just keep it that way. I wouldn't mind if they did put Lucas at right tackle and then Wiley at right guard. I wouldn't mind seeing that. But I think what they're going to do, because Trent Scott did a good job. You know how many times Jaden Daniels got sacked on Saturday night? How many times did Jaden Daniels get sacked? 0 times. 0 times he got sacked. He was untouched. Like, we had such a good game plan, and Jaden Daniels is such a smart quarterback. We were ready for their blitz. Every time they blitzed, we picked it up. He got the ball out quickly, or he stood tall in the pocket and threw the ball down to DeAndre Brown and screen pass to Terry McLaurin. Like, we had a lot of plays that were ready for the blitz as well, or he ran for a first down. He got down and slid and got down. So James B, it's all good. It's all good, man. It's just crazy to think that he was really untouched. The only time he was touched was when they had the unnecessary roughness on the read option. He handed it off to B-Rob, and I'm not gonna say they put a bounty on Jaden, but they wanted to hit him, and I don't blame him. It's the playoffs. That's what they wanted to do. They hit him, and the refs made a right call by calling a unnecessary roughness penalty, because he did use his helmet on Jaden. It was helmet to helmet hit. And the Lions also had the silly 12 men on the field penalty as well. That was a huge penalty. That was a huge penalty by the Lions. And that was on Aaron Glenn. That was on them. That was on Aaron Glenn, the coaching staff. And he's probably gonna get a job somewhere. So we embarrassed two coordinators that are going to get head coaching jobs. We embarrassed Ben Johnson. We embarrassed Aaron Glenn on Saturday night. But yes, Jaden Daniels was untouched on Sunday night. David Sanchez said, yo, Ed, what's up? Shout out from LA. Yes, sir, man. I would have liked to play out LA. That would have been fun to play against the Rams, but we got to take care of business in Philly against the Eagles for sure. So that's going to be great. But thank you, man. Thank you for checking out the channel as always. There's a lot of Commanders fans, a lot of Skins fans out Los Angeles, out California for sure. And then praying for you. I'm not sure if your house was impacted by the wildfires, but if it was, and of course all the people out there that had anything impacted by the wildfires, definitely praying for LA for sure. That's just insane. It really is. Sebastian Gasson says, like you said, we want all the smoke, man. We want all the smoke, man. Nobody wants to see us right now, man. And nobody can stop us but us. Nobody can stop us but us. Fourth downs, we are a fourth down team. We are a second half team. we're starting to become a first half and second half team. That was a complete game from start to finish. I think that might have been our most complete game for the whole season, really, other than the Bengals game or the Titans game. The Titans game we started off fast. The Titans game, the Giants game we started out fast. The second Giants game, and the Buccaneers we started out pretty quickly too. And but other than that, a lot of our wins have been like second half type wins where we play a lot better in the second half. But that Lions game from start to finish, like we came out there squabbling. We came out there squabbling, ready like eating mom's spaghetti. Shout out to Eminem 8 Mile, but we were ready to go from the jump, and that's how we got to be against Philly. We can't have a second half game or start off slow. We gotta start off from the jump and punch them in the mouth, Rocky style, Rocky Balboa style. We got to go and punch them in the mouth in Philly. That's what we got to do. Excuse me. JTF, thank you for the donation. He says, "Feels so good where we are. Let's smack the Eagles." Yes, sir, man. We owe them again. We owe them again, and their fan base is a terrible fan base. I really don't like the Eagles at all. Been a lot of trash talking, which I like, and there's another Philly radio spot where they've been talking trash, and they're basically doing the same thing that the Detroit media did. It's like, did y'all not learn your lesson from Detroit and their radio station and what they did and what they said? And then I think his name is Seth Joyner. I think he played in the NFL as well. And he's talking trash too, talking big stuff. Like we're just. He said, "Quote, by the way, they don't stand a snowball's chance in heck in winning here on Sunday. You know that, right? James, make sure you take that and you play that all darn week. All right. So hey, Seth, this is what we do, man. We take radio clips, podcast clips, any fuel to the fire. We take that. We take stuff that Amon-Ra St. Brown said years ago. We take stuff that Ben Johnson said last year. Anything negative to the Commanders, we take it, we record it, we clip it, and we use that fuel to the fire. I don't know if Dan Quinn played that Amon-Ra St. Brown clip to De'Ami Brown. I was like, hey. Dan Quinn was like, hey, De'Ami, you heard what he said about you, right? You heard what he said about you. I don't know if his teammates, and we had the Cartier glasses after the game for Detroit. Like, we get real disrespectful with it. You know, we have fun with it in the locker room, but we get real disrespectful with it. That's why I like this team, too. I love this team. But any fuel to the fire, any Philly Eagles podcast, YouTube channel, radio station, if they want to talk trash, we love that. Please do it. We're begging you to do it. We're begging you to give us bulletin board material, because you saw what Detroit did. The Buccaneers, they were chill for the most part. I don't remember the Buccaneers really doing stuff like that. You know, there's not a lot of Buccaneers podcasts like that anyway. No disrespect to the Buccaneers, but Detroit, they were definitely doing that. They was on that. The Bears, when we played the Bears, right before we played the Bears, there was a lot of podcasts, Bears podcasts, YouTube channels talking trash, and we clipped that up, recorded it, and I put that in my video. So Seth Joyner, you will be the next victim. It's almost like the Grim Reaper meme where he's knocking on the door. That's what we're doing right now. So the Eagles are next on the menu. They're next on the menu. Let's see here. JTF, thank you for the donation. Yes, he said, feels so good where we are. Let's smack the Eagles. I love where we're at. The whole house money thing, whatever you want to call it. You know, we're in a great spot here. We're underdogs, man. We're playing. We have nothing to lose in year one of the recalibration, because we're gonna get even better than this. You know, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of Jaden Daniels dominating the league for the next decade. For him being the face, one of the faces of the league, or the face of the league. He's gonna get an MVP before it's all said and done. The trajectory right now, he might even get a Super Bowl ring in his first year. Best rookie quarterback season in the NFL history. I know people want to say Andrew Luck, and Andrew Luck didn't even have a better rookie season than RG3. So I don't know why people on social media were saying Andrew Luck, which is just insane. Jaden clearly, so you had Ohio State just scored with Jeremiah Smith, the easy touchdown there. But yeah, man. Reggie T, thank you for the donation. He says, looking forward to breaking out our championship shirts in their house. Yeah, man, that would just be awesome to have a celebration and a ceremony in Philly. Like, that would just be love. That would be love, man, especially in front of their terrible fans who booed Santa Claus, throwing batteries, I don't know if you guys saw the clip of the Philly fans going back and forth with a Packers fan and his wife. They got a jail under the stadium, so Philly fans they're just the scum of the NFL. They really are. They are the scum of the NFL. They just don't know how to act. They have zero class. I hate Philly fans. I hate Sixers fans. I hate Philly fans. I hate them all. They don't know how to act. I hate Philly fans. They are the scum of the NFL. They don't know how to act at all. But yes, if we win, I'm buying any NFC Championship T-shirt. I'll get a new hat because I know people have been going in on my hat and stuff. You know, I got a million hats, guys, and people keep talking about my dad hat. I'm gonna get a new NFC Championship hat. You know, I got this old hat. I'm gonna show you guys. This is the NFC East Championship hat right here. When we won the NFC East in 2020, I know you guys can see this real quick, but yeah, this is the old hat from 2020 that I got. So I'm due for a new hat. So I need them to get this done so I can get a new hat. So I can get an NFC, not an NFC East, but a NFC Championship hat, and then hopefully we fool around and get us some Super Bowl merch too. So, but man, oh my gosh, like that would just be insane to year one to get some NFC Championship merch and Super Bowl merch and shirts and hats and jackets and all kinds of stuff. I mean, I'm gonna buy everything. I'm like, anything I see, I'm getting it. Anything I see, I'm getting it for sure. Pitt or PIT Fight Entertainment, thank you for the donation. He says, happy the channel is back up. Yeah, man, it was crazy. I mean, they couldn't hold me down, man. Free me and I'm free. Back out. First day out has been for a while, but man, I was gonna be very disappointed if we would have won only one playoff game, and the one playoff game that we won, I wasn't able to really post. I would have been devastated, but the team's been so good that they won again, you know, so that's just awesome. So, but I'm happy I'm back. I'm thankful I'm back, and definitely looking that nothing like that happens again. And I thank you guys for holding it down and saying free ad, hashtag free ad, stuff like that. A lot of people checked in, a lot of people commented and stuff like that, and it was like, is that okay? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I tried to comment back as much as I could and stuff like that. But, yeah, I'm here, guys. I'm here. You can't hold a real guy down. You can't hold a real guy down. That's all I'm going to say. Richard McClay, thank you for the donation. Enough said, man. Thank you for the donation. Thank you for the donation. Let's see here. Swaggy P, thank you for the donation. He says, greatest season of my life. And I hope the ride continues. Would be great to see us hoisting that NFC Championship trophy in Philly and Lombardi in New Orleans. Oh my gosh, that would just be insane. For a rookie quarterback to do that, that would be insane. And it's a long time coming. It's a long time coming. For sure. I mean, a Super Bowl would just be insane. It really would be insane. I mean, that would just be crazy. It really would. I mean, a parade in DC, I'm definitely going to that. A parade for the Super Bowl. I mean, it's surreal. It really is. It still is surreal that we're at this point. It still is surreal. It was just, I woke up the next morning. I couldn't sleep. I really couldn't sleep. Saturday night, I could not sleep. There's just no way. There's no way. I mean, the game ended at 11:30, started at 8, ended around 11:30. So there was just no way I could sleep. I slept for I guess maybe 3 hours. So I did go to sleep. I did, of course, eventually go to sleep, but I didn't sleep much. It was just my adrenaline was just going crazy. It was a surreal moment, outer body experience type of moment. I mean, just an insane moment. I'm still soaking it in. I'm still pumped. I couldn't focus at all today, and today's Monday. But I was riding high. Like I said, I went to church, and everybody was hyped for me, being a Commanders fan and stuff like that. I wore my jacket. My bomber jacket. My bomber jacket is upstairs, my Washington football one. But, you know, you can just see it in the city. You can feel it in the atmosphere. Going to the grocery store, you know, like I said, I live in Baltimore, so I don't get to see a lot. But I saw somebody driving with Commanders flags. Like, I've heard that people, you know, when they go to the grocery store, there's a lot of Commanders jerseys now, Commanders this and that. Everybody's saying hi to each other and just having a good time in the DMV area. So that's just lovely to see, man. You love that energy in the city, man. I love that. I love that we're back. You know, DC sports is the Commanders are back. The Commanders are back, man. So But yes, this Swaggy P, just like you said, this is the greatest season of my life for sure, man. This is a historical season. It's kind of like you just don't want the magical ride to end. You just want to enjoy this season so much that you just don't want to see it end, man. And it's so crazy. Like before the Detroit game, there was a couple people commenting on my channel like, this has been a fun season and all this stuff, and like, we're gonna lose, but this is fun. I was like, nah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't think the magical ride is over yet. There's still more to the story to write, man. There's still more London Fletcher and Bram Weinstein going crazy. There's still more Jaden making big plays. There's still more De'Ami Brown stepping up and making big plays to come, and Terry McLaurin and Mikey and Dan Quinn wearing his hat backwards. And there's still more of that to come, man. There's still more of that to come. And I feel like Marshawn Lattimore might fool around and get an interception on Sunday or something like that may happen. I just feel like he's going to step up and make a big play. Something like that may happen. Or Frankie Luvu getting an interception. Willie Parham, thank you for being a channel member. He says, we not dunking, no smoke, man. We want all the smoke anytime, anywhere, anybody. They can get it. That's the motto. Anytime, anywhere, anybody can get it. And that's what we come. That's how we're coming, man. That's the type of time we're on. We don't care who you are. We don't care if you're the 15-2 Lions with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. We don't care. In a hostile environment, we don't care. We do not care. We don't care if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road. We're taking over your house. We don't care. We already beat the Eagles once. We're ready to do it again. And I get it. Jalen Hurts was out. But, the first time we played him too, Jalen Hurts was not playing well. He did not play well in that Thursday night football game. And like I said, I think he really fears Frankie Luvu. I think he really fears Frankie. He's going to hear some footsteps. When he sees Frankie across from him and they make eye contact, I know he's going to put the fear. There's going to be fear in his eyes for sure. Tim Farrell says, Hurts with the bad knee might mess with the butt kiss. Tush push. So, yes, we do have to be ready for the tush push. It's the worst play in the NFL. I really hate that play with a passion. But, yes, Jalen Hurts, we have to be ready for that. He did get hurt too. Like, that was a tough tackle. I don't think it was a hip drop tackle, but his ankle did get rolled up on. And he was gimpy after that. He wasn't really moving well. He got sacked. Didn't the Saints get a safety? Didn't the Rams get a safety on the Eagles too? Like, I feel like they got a safety or something like that. They definitely got a safety. They were getting after Jalen Hurts, and I feel like we can do the same. I feel like we can definitely get after him. And he had a terrible fumble before halftime. Like, it was an awful fumble that he had, and the ball went backwards like 10 yards. Cooper DeJean fumbled as well. I think he got it back though. But yeah, like, we can rattle Jalen Hurts. We can get him seeing ghosts, just like we got Jared Goff seeing ghosts. We really had Jared Goff seeing ghosts at one time in the game. Not one time in the game, for the majority of the game, we had him seeing ghosts. I really feel like we can do the same to Jalen Hurts. Like, if you get pressure on him and start hitting him, like you can take away his first read, that quick slant to A.J. Brown, take that away. And I feel like we can do a really good job against Jalen Hurts. Dallas Goedert, he's had a couple of good games since he's come back. Devontae Smith hasn't really done much either because Jalen Hurts just hasn't really done much. A.J. Brown had a big drop in the game too. I'm not sure if you guys saw that, but he had a really big drop against the Rams too, and they had to settle for a field goal. Jake Elliott has been terrible. Jake Elliott was awful against us on Thursday Night Football, and he has not been the same. So be prepared for Jake Elliott to miss a kick or to miss an extra point. Like that definitely could happen. That could be an advantage. I know Zane Gonzalez has been iffy too. He missed a 44-yarder in a dome, which is terrible, but he did make a 52-yard kick against the Buccaneers, and he did make the divisional doink against the Buccaneers too. But Jake Elliott has been terrible. So be prepared for the Eagles to go for it on two. Like, I feel like they're almost to the point where they've given up on Jake Elliott, and I don't blame them because Jake Elliott has been awful. If Jake Elliott misses an extra point, then I feel like they're just going to go for two, like, after that, almost like every time. I think that's something that may be a realistic possibility because Jake Elliott has been so awful. But yes, from the kicking standpoint, yes. Zane Gonzalez has to be better. And like I said, be prepared for Jake Elliott to miss a kick or two on Sunday. Attaboy for life said easier said than done to stop 5 too. Yeah, like I said, he can hurt you with his legs. He can hurt you with his arm. He can hurt you on 4th and 5. It can be 4th and 10. Jalen Carter, he thought he had Jaden Daniels, but guess what? Jaden Daniels made him miss in a phone booth. He did an Allen Iverson crossover. Shout out to Philadelphia. He did an Allen Iverson crossover on Jalen Carter. when we beat them. And that was a third. That was like a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 8. And Jaden put the cape on and ran for a first down. That was on Jalen Carter. Excuse me. Eric Barber, thank you, man. Thank you for the donation. He said, okay, family man. Here's some bones for a new hat. I thank you for that, man. I really do. I appreciate that. Like I said, I'm gonna get a new hat. I was gonna get a new hat for sure because people have been trying to cook my dad hat. But hey, this is good luck, guys. This is good mojo. You don't want to mess with the good mojo for whatever reason. Like I said, I've been wearing this hat on game days and for preview videos and whatever. And when I was wearing the beanie, that was when we were on our 3-game losing streak. When I was wearing the beanie, I was wearing the Commander's beanie. So I was like, all right, I'm not wearing the beanie anymore. For preview videos, I'm just gonna wear the dad hat. I'm gonna keep it that way, and just wear the dad hat. But I'm definitely gonna get a NFC Championship hat, 100%, and I'll probably get 2 more hats this off season anyway too. But thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Let's see some other comments here. Fishing is fun 17 with a Taylor Heineke profile picture. He says JD5 Super Bowl MVP. Yes, sir, man. I mean, I can see it happening. I can definitely see that happening. I can see him being an MVP in the Super Bowl. For a rookie to come in and do that, that would just be historical. That would be historical. I mean, what he's doing already is historical. Anyway, to get to the NFC Championship, I'm trying to think if there's any rookies that have ever gotten to an NFC Championship. I know we've seen C.J. Stroud get to the second round. We saw Russell Wilson get to the second round. We've seen a couple rookies win a playoff game here and there, but we haven't seen a rookie like this. So I'm trying to look at the history and see if rookie quarterbacks have ever gotten to a Super Bowl here. Give me 1 second, guys. But yeah, I mean, he's really rewriting history. Jaden Daniels is rewriting history right now. He's rewriting history right now for the history books. Spencer S says we have been extremely blessed this year, but we can't kid ourselves and say Eagles aren't a good team. Oh yeah, they're a good team. They're a darn good team. I just know with JD5 and Guy, anything is possible. I know 21 is up there saying it's our time. Yes, sir. Sean Taylor is definitely looking down and smiling and excited. This is how you honor Sean Taylor. That's how you honor Sean Taylor. You don't honor Sean Taylor with a mannequin statue or whatever you want to call it, or a mannequin. This is how you honor Sean Taylor. This is how you honor Doug Williams. Who of course is still here with us, but that's how you honor Doug Williams. Like before the game, they had Doug Williams shirts on it, and one of the practices, like everybody was wearing a Doug Williams shirt. Like they're just doing the little things correct now. Josh Harris is doing the little things the right way. Dan Quinn is doing the little things the right way. Whoever came up with the idea to wear the Doug Williams shirts and make him the honorary captain of the game, like they're just doing things the right way. And you love to see that. Magic Johnson come to the games, having a talk with Terry. You saw Terry and Magic Johnson embrace each other after the Tampa game. And Magic Johnson was like, this is what we talked about. Him and Terry had a long conversation in the offseason. You love that. Bobby Wagner has been a great leader for this team, a great veteran leader, like a player coach. So we just have smart guys in the front office, smart guys on the team, veterans on the team. We have a rookie that talks like a veteran, that acts like a veteran, plays like he's been in the league for years and years and years. We just have a great formula. We don't have the all-stars. We have a couple all-pros, though. Don't get me wrong. We don't have, like a star-studded receiving core, and a star-studded running back core that we just beat in the Lions, but we got some dogs, man. And when you got guys that believe in each other, like when Brian Robinson scored a touchdown, like him and Dan Quinn hugged. And I know Brian Robinson has definitely gotten flack. Like if he's getting flack from us, I know he's getting flack from the coaches too. But Dan Quinn, he puts that battery in your back. And that's why Michael Parsons loves Dan Quinn. This is why Michael Parsons, every time we play a game, Michael Parsons is picking us. Every time we play, because he knows what Dan Quinn can do for a player and the way that he gets guys to buy in and believe. So I know it sounds like a Disney movie, but like after Brian Robinson scored that first touchdown, like him and Dan Quick, they hugged and they embraced. I mean, and we still had a long way to go, but like I know B-Rob has heard the noise. Like I was giving B-Rob a hard time. Shout out to On the Warpath, but he was like his bold prediction was B-Rob was going to score 2 touchdowns. I laughed in his face. I did. I laughed in his face. I was laughing hard. I was belly laughing. But B-Rob stepped up because the coaching staff still believed in him. I want to see Rod in there. I was like, hey, make B-Rob inactive. If anybody, it was almost at that point. I wasn't going to 100% blame B-Rob because some of it was the offensive line, but B-Rob stepped up. He had a darn good game. He played really in one of the biggest game of the season. He stepped up. But he says, yes, I know 21's up there saying it's our time. It is. It's our time, man. We're on command time. We're on man time. It's our time. You know, it is our time. And we have 100% confidence right now. Everybody's overall and the game sliders is up right now. You know, if you're playing Madden 2K, everybody's game sliders is up. Everybody's confidence is on 110% right now. 110%. Everybody's confidence is sky high because everybody believes in Jaden. Everybody believes in the next man. Quan Martin, Mikey Sanders, everybody knows that the next man next to him can make a play at any time. Dorrance Armstrong can make a play and force a fumble. Anybody, anytime, anywhere can make a play. All right. Let's see. I got a couple more donations. Robert Snyder, enough said, man. Very well said. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate that, Rob. I appreciate you, man. Grande Groove says, thank you for the donation again. He said, hey, what's up, my guy? You missed my first super chat. Let me make sure. Yeah, I think I got you, man. I'll read it again. So he said, Ed, it's been a long time coming. Thank you for making content all 3 and 13 draft and trash Josh Doxson, who we are going to be playing against on Sunday at 3:00. Darn good culture. I did talk about the darn good culture with Bruce Allen. Like I said, I talked about all the stuff we went through with bad quarterbacks. All the quarterbacks that Terry deserves this, man. Terry deserves this so bad. Deron Payne has been here through the dog days. John Allen has been here through the dog days. There's a lot of guys that are still on the team that have seen it all. From Ryan Fitzpatrick, Taylor Heineke, Dwayne Haskins, rest in peace, for Terry McLaurin. He called passes. Terry McLaurin called passes from Dwayne Haskins. We saw Case Keenum at quarterback the last couple of years. I mean, I could go on and on and on for the list of quarterbacks that we've had and the list of coaches that we've had and the leaks that have come out and just, you know, the whole Bruce Allen, Dan Snyder, and Snakes on a Plane and stuff. Like I said, I don't want to talk about that stuff too much, but, you know, Jamin Davis draft pick, all the Ron Rivera draft picks for the most part in the first round were bad or are no longer here. Jamin Davis released, Emmanuel Forbes released, Fedarian Mathis released, even though he's a second-round pick. Chase Young no longer on the team. I mean, so many guys that we've had just come in and out. And we deserve this, guys. Like I said, it's been 33 years since we made the NFC Championship game, 20 years since we won a playoff game. I mean, so many records being broken. It's just insane. Like, we deserve this, guys. We deserve it. It's our time. We have a darn good culture. Adam Peters, Lance Newmark, Josh Harris, Mitchell Rels, Magic Johnson. Excuse me. We've done everything right so far. We're ahead of schedule in the recalibration. The over-under was 6.5, and we won 12 games. We won 14 games this season. We've smashed that. Jaden Daniels is going to be Rookie of the Year. Dan Quinn has a strong case for Coach of the Year. He probably won't win Coach of the Year because of Kevin O'Connell. It's a regular season award, and the postseason is not accounted for it. Just like the NBA, like they only account the regular season for the award. So Dan Quinn probably won't get it, but he should get it. To be 4-13 last year and to be 12-5, I mean, like that's clearly the biggest jump in win total this whole season. To go from 4 to 12 wins, an 8-win difference in one season is unheard of. It's unheard of. So yes, we have a darn good culture, Grande, and yes, we will be going up against Jahan Dotson. A guy that I did like. I liked when he was here. I liked him when he was here. I did like Jahan. I was a Jahan fan. I still like his game. I still think he's a decent receiver. It hasn't worked out for him in Philly. He did catch a touchdown pass in the first round, but Jahan Dotson, he should have 0 catches on Sunday. They're going to try to get him the football too because they did that last time we played him. When we played him in Philly, like they made it a point to get him. Like the first play of the game, they threw him a pass, and then the second game, I don't think he caught any passes at all. But yes, they're gonna try to get him the football. They're gonna try to do that for sure. And Adam Peters did a good job trading him. Like I at first I was against it, but looking back, I'm like, yeah, that was a heck of a trade. And we got the Dolphins pick. We got the Dolphins 3rd round pick, which is a high 3rd round pick because they didn't make the playoffs. So that was just awesome. And to get another 3rd round pick and flip it for Marshawn Lattimore, basically, like that's just how GMs GM. That's textbook GMing. And we needed a general manager. That was probably one of the most important hires this offseason for sure was getting a GM. Getting a GM that stood on business and told Ben Johnson that, nah, I'm drafting Jaden Daniels. If you don't like it or not, you can leave, and we're not going to hire you. That's what it was. And I'm so happy we didn't hire Ben Johnson as the head coach. We ended up getting Dan Quinn. Robert Schneider, thank you for the donation. He says, at halftime they told their defensive players to hit Jaden Daniels when we run an RPO, even if he hands off the ball to the back. Yeah, they did. And like I said, I don't blame them for that. I get it. I understand. I totally understand it. That's what they did. And I'm just happy that the refs called a flag on it because he led with his helmet. But I get it. Like when a player is playing that well, it's the playoffs. I get it. People turn into Greg Williams. I don't condone a bounty. I'm not going to say they had a bounty on him, but that's just what it is. That's just what people do. And when you can't stop people, it's like, hey, we got to find a way. And Jaden Daniels has done a great job of getting out of harm's way, sliding, getting down. Not every slide is perfect, but he's done a great job of getting out of harm's way. He's done a great job of getting out of harm's way and getting the football out quickly and being decisive and hanging in there for sure. Gerald Cheese says, we go into the Super Bowl. Oh, it's true. It's darn true, man. I see it. Why not us? Why not us, man? Why not us? We're playing better football than the Eagles right now. We really are. We're playing better football. We're playing the best football in the league right now. We're super, super hot. We are hot. Because not only is our offense doing this thing, but when the defense forces turnovers, and that's all I ask from the defense. Like, we know the defense is going to give up big plays here and there. We get it. We know that. That's what they've been this whole season. But when they can at least force a turnover, can we get an interception and a forced fumble? That's when we know we're rolling on all cylinders. I feel a pick on Jalen Hurts coming. I don't know if it's going to be Mikey or Marshawn, but I feel like it's going to be one of those guys getting an interception on Jalen Hurts on Sunday, and then possibly a forced fumble. One of those things is going to happen for sure. It's going to be a big play, a big momentum shifter that the defense is going to make, a big play that the defense is going to make. That's what it's going to take because our offense is going to take care of business. We're going to go for it on 4th down about 5 times. How many times? We went for it on 4th down against the Lions. How many times? Let me look this up real quick because the magic number for me is really either 3 or 4 4th down conversions because it's going to happen. We know what Dan Quinn does. He does not settle for field goals. I think honestly, this game you can win with a couple field goals against Philly, just because Jalen Hurts is not really playing well. But you still I think the magic number is like 25, 28 points. Where the Lions, it was like if you want to win to beat the Lions, you got to put up 30. The Eagles, I think you can win with 25 points against the Eagles. That's just my opinion. But we're gonna go for them 4th down a bunch again. It's gonna happen again. So against the Buccaneers, we were 3 for 5 on 4th downs. So I think the magic number is like 3 or 4. If we can convert on at least 4 4th downs, then I feel like we win the game. I feel like we win the game if we convert at least 3 4th downs. But I think the magic number is 4. I don't want to take that many. I don't want to go for it that much because it's just so heart-wrenching watching that. But then again, it's like we have so much confidence in this team that we're going to get it on 4th down. We were 3 for 4. So, all right, I'm not going to say the magic number is 4. I'm going to say the magic number is 3. Let's go with the magic number is 3. If we convert 3 4th downs against Philly, then that's a win in my opinion. I think we're going to win if we convert on 3 4th downs because we're going to go for it for sure. At least 3 times. B Truthful says Eagle fans, Detroit wanted to trade the 32nd pick in this year's draft for FYFE and dynamic DMV Brown. In Michigan, Mikey says no. Yeah, Mikey came back to Michigan and did his thing, man. He held it down. After going to Michigan his rookie season, he held it down coming in his homecoming game. Let's see here. So we do have one Eagles fan in the chat. I haven't seen a lot of Eagles fans, so I'm surprised. There's usually a lot of Eagles fans in here. Shout out to Fishing is Fun for saying this. Stephen Papuro, who is an Eagles fan, clearly he's been riding this guy Seth Joyner in the chat. I did see a couple of comments from Steven. So this is the one Philly fan that I've seen. There was a lot of Lions fans in the chat in my live stream on Friday. A lot of Lions fans were coming out of the woodworks for sure. The Lions have a strong fan base. They do. So I'm not gonna dump on their fan base. They got a strong fan base. But how are you gonna block Jalen Carter? You just got to double him. It is what it is. You're gonna have to double Jalen Carter. And you saw what we did. You saw what we already did to Jalen Carter when we beat you guys. In that second half, I didn't see anything Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter was impactful in the first half. But other than that, I mean, like I already told you, Jalen Carter, you saw what Jaden Daniels did to Jalen Carter, right? In open space. You saw that, right? Jalen Carter thought he had him. But nah. Jaden Daniels did a Magic Johnson. He didn't pass it, but he kept it. And he went one way, and Jalen Carter thought he was going this way, and he went the other way very quickly and got the first down. So ask Jalen Carter about that too. Everybody's like, oh, how are you going to stop Jalen Carter? But ask Jalen Carter how is he going to stop Jaden Daniels? Let's talk about that first. But I get it. Yeah, Sam Cosmi being out is it does make it tough. I get that. But Jaden Daniels is still going to do his thing for sure. We got Trent Scott who's going to step in and do a solid job. And if he's not playing well, then you may kick Andrew Wiley into right guard and have Lucas at right tackle. So there are some options there. There's a couple options there. But we'll start off with Trent Scott. I do want to see if they sign somebody tomorrow. I know there's a couple offensive guards that are available, but it's hard to sign a guy at this time in the season and expect him to come in and play well. So it's kind of like you got to stick with the guys that you got right now. You got to stick with the guys that you got at this point. So we need a big game from Trent Scott for sure. And on the other side, the Lions, they had Kevin Zeitler was out. I talked about that before the game. I was like, Kevin Zeitler is out. And they had a rookie Mahogany come in there. And I was like, hey, John Allen, Deron Payne, you got to eat, guys. You're going up against a rookie left guard or right guard. You got to eat. And they did that against Mahogany for sure with Kevin Zeitler being out. I was going to look up the offensive guards who are free agents, but, if they could pick up anybody, but I don't really see anybody right now. And I guess we'll worry about that in the offseason. Like I said, we just got to believe with the guys that we got. Everybody who's in this room right now, you look around the locker room, you look to your left, you look to right, this is all we need, guys. That's what Dan Quinn is probably telling everybody. But Adam Peters, he probably should sign an offensive guard at least to the team just for some depth or something like that. You do have Chris Paul who plays guard. Michael Dieter does play guard too. He plays center and guard. He has positional flex. But like I said, we're going to start off with Trent Scott at the guard position. Danny says you got till Sunday to talk. Then after you will be okay. We got some Eagles fans in the chat. You guys weren't too quiet. I was about to say, I was like, man, I don't see any Eagles fans in the chat at all. They're usually in here. Eagles fans have been loving to talk about us this whole season, man. Eagles fans are so salty to the point where they were rooting for Bo Nix to win Rookie of the Year. And that ship has really sailed. They've been real quiet with that. Eagles fans used to say that all the time. And they were like, yeah, when JD5 put the Falcons away, it was like there was nothing else you could really say. There's nothing else you could really say. But that's how much Eagles fans hate us. That's how much they hate us. They root for other teams, just like the Bears were rooting for the Lions to beat us. And that's how we get up under people's skin so much. There's so many teams that hate us so much that they're rooting for their rivals. Teams are rooting for the rivals. That's how much they hate us. And that's how good we are. Red Wings 01 says, we don't need their respect. We just need to beat them. We have their respect for sure. We already beat them anyway. So they already have our respect for sure. They definitely respect Jaden for sure. I know Jalen Carter respects Jaden. A lot of people respect Jaden Daniels for sure. How could you not? Finishing is fun. 17 says Cooper Flag and Jaden Daniels will run DC. I hope so. Cooper Flag has looked really good so far. He had a 40-point game the other night too. I saw one dunk that he had against Pitt. So I definitely see us either, if not Cooper Flag, then maybe Ace Bailey or Ron Harper's son. And the Wizards should be fine for sure. T. Rose says Mahomes not going to have home field advantage. Hope we play them. The The Bills, Chiefs, anybody can get it. It doesn't matter to me. I really feel like we can beat anybody at this point. I really do. Like I said, it's not crazy to say I feel like we can beat the Chiefs. Like if you would have told me a couple weeks ago we could beat the Chiefs, and maybe I wouldn't believe you. But at this point, I feel like we can beat anybody. I really do. I feel like we can beat the Chiefs, beat the Bills, Eagles. I don't really care who's in front of us. We can beat them. We can beat anybody. F Dallas, I like that name. He says, I'm buying that NFC Championship gear. You already know that. I can't wait. Like I can't wait. I'm definitely gonna get a hoodie, a T-shirt, all that stuff. All that stuff. Joe Logan's joking me. He says, please get a new one. He says, please get a new one. Like I said, let's win this NFC Championship, and then I'll get a new hat, okay? But like I said, I'm wearing this hat. This hat has held me down for the last couple of years, so I got to stay loyal to this hat. I'm a loyal person. I'm a very loyal person. I stick to it. I stick with it. First off, I'm a very loyal person. Just like this team. And shout out to all the people who hopped onto the Ravens bandwagon that one year, and we went past the Ravens. So all the people who are trying to come back, stay on that side. Stay on that side. Just like John Morant said. Be Truthful says, HTTMFR, MFR, we trafficking upsets on the road. Yes, sir. That's what we do. We walk in your trap and take over your trap. That's what we do. We're known for that. Attaboy for Life said, slow up Barkley is a wrap. I mean, yeah, that's what we got to do. It's a simple formula. It's easier said than done. But what we did in that second half against the Eagles when we won, and then also Thursday Night Football, if you look back in the first half, we slowed down Saquon Barkley in that first half. We were winning going into the fourth quarter. Jaden Daniels was injured in that game. He was hurt. The ribs were still bothering him. They were rubbing his belly and his ribs and stuff like that, wrapping him up and all that stuff. We don't see them doing that anymore. So that clearly told everybody that he was going through a lot with that. His throwing motion, he was inaccurate that game. That might have been his worst game of his career. So he got that out the way and stepped up big time in the second game. But, yeah, the formula to slow down the run. So this is a huge Joe Witt Jr. game. This is a big Joe Witt Jr. game. This is a big Frankie game. This is a big Dorrance game. Cleveland, Daron Payne, John Allen, Johnny Newton, Jalen Holmes from Norfolk, Sheldon Day if he gets in the mix. This is a big Bobby Wagner. This is a big front seven game. This is a big front seven game here. You got to slow down Saquon. And then you got to roll with the punches with A.J. Brown. You got to roll with the punches with Devontae. You got to roll with the punches with Dallas Goedert. If Jalen Hurts is throwing the football, it's like, hey, you got to tip your cap. But you cannot let Saquon Barkley scamper up the field for 50 yards or 70 yards up the field, and you see him high-stepping and celebrating before he gets into the end zone. That's just what you can't let happen. So that's the biggest key to victory. That he's the head of the snake. He is the engine to the car. He is the heart and soul of that team. He's the heart and soul of that team. They have a good defense, don't get me wrong, but he is the heart and soul of that team. Saquon, they live and die by Saquon. If Saquon doesn't get rolling and you shut him down and you make Jalen Hurts have to beat you through the air, then it could be a long day for the Eagles. And Jalen Hurts is capable. He's capable of doing it. Like, we've seen him do it. A.J. Brown's a good receiver. They got guys for sure. They do. They have a good team. And that's why they're here. But, yes, you have to slow down Saquon Barkley. Like I said, I think the magic number for me is 80 yards. I think that's realistic. Keep him around 80, 70 yards. Just like the Bills did with Derrick Henry. They kept him around 80 yards. And they did enough. Like you're not gonna shut down Derrick Henry. You're not gonna shut down Saquon. You're just not gonna shut those guys down. But can you slow them down and contain them? That's the biggest part. And force turnovers. Robert Snyder, thank you for the donation again. Shout out to my guy, Robert Snyder. I appreciate you, Rob. I appreciate you, man. He says, watching every quarterback play this weekend showed everyone how special Jaden is. Rio hit it on the nail. Jared Goff is good, but he's not special. Yeah, that's true. I mean, you saw who the better quarterback was. Jaden Daniels was the better quarterback. He was the best player on Ford Field on Saturday night. He was way better than Jared Goff. 0 turnovers, 0 sacks. I don't think Jaden really missed any passes. Like, I think the only pass he missed was to Terry. Other than that, you saw Jared Goff mail a pass to Quan Martin where he overthrew a guy. And then you saw him throw 3 picks, fumble. He threw a bad interception to Jeremy Chan. He threw a bad interception to Mikey Samerstill, or Mikey Samerstill ran the route for Jameson Williams and saw it from start to finish. So you saw Jared Goff struggle, man. You saw him struggle. Hold on for 1 second, guys. Yeah, so Jaden was the better quarterback, clearly. You saw Jared Goff overthrow guys. You saw him underthrow guys. You saw him throw easy picks to Kwamar, like I said, for the pick 6. And then he got hit stick by Frankie Luvu trying to tackle guys. So, yeah, Jared Goff had probably the worst game of his career. That was the worst time to have his worst game. But I think Joey Jr. and our guys forced him to do that. Like I said, John Allen did a good job getting pressures. He had 9 pressures. Dorrance Armstrong with a strip sack. So credit the defense for making that happen. It wasn't like Jared Goff was just sitting back there with a lot of time making mistakes. Some of it was, but like I said, he started seeing ghosts. He started hearing footsteps. I think ever since the Dorrance Armstrong forced fumble, I think that really set the tone for the game. That was a big play. That was a huge play by Dorrance. So, like I said, we can do the same thing to Jalen Hurts and get to him because the Rams had 7 sacks. They had 7 sacks on Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts was immobile in that second half. After that his leg got bent back, he really couldn't move. He wasn't mobile after that. Yeah, Jared Goff got sacked 2 times, 3 picks, 1 touchdown, 3 picks, 23 for 40, 313 yards. He was awful. He was terrible. And then Jameson Williams came in there and threw a pick too. He was like, yeah, you can go ahead and do that too, Jameson. But yeah, Jaden was the better quarterback, and Jared Goff had a good year. He did. He had like a super high completion percentage, threw a bunch of touchdowns. Like he had the best year of his career for sure. So Jared Goff, like he's a good player, but yeah, he's not special like JD5. He can't make something shake on 4th down like JD5 does. That's the difference right there. And JD5 was way more accurate. That pass to DeAndre Brown, where DeAndre Brown got his eyes almost gouged out, and he still caught it. Like the ball placement on that, like that was a heck of a play. The pass to John Bates for a 1st down, the pass to Zach Ertz for the touchdown, the pass to there was a nice pass to Austin Eckler as well. So Jaden made some big time throws. There was a couple 1st down runs that Jaden had. The pass to Zach Ertz for a 1st down on 4th down, and Jaden made some really nice runs too. He made some really nice runs, and I think he's going to be able to run again against the Eagles too, like he did a couple weeks ago when we beat the Eagles. Jaden had his longest run was a 15-yard run. He had 16 carries for 51 yards, and I think we're going to have the same formula again, where Jaden's going to have to carry the ball at least 10 times. Let me see how many times did he carry the ball against the Buccaneers? Because I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, we don't want to see him have more than 8 carries," but it is what it is. If Jaden has to run the ball 10 times, and it is what it is. 16 carries is a lot, but the Lions play a lot of man, so there was a lot of times where I knew he was going to have to carry the football. So Jaden had 13 carries against the Buccaneers, so I think he's going to have something similar against the Eagles, where he's going to carry the ball like at least 10 to 13 times, maybe even 15. He's got to put the cape on and make something happen, and get the 1st down. Any especially on 4th down, we run them a lot with that the option play that we did against the Falcons, that we got a 1st down on the 4th down. So be prepared for that. Be ready for that. He's going to do that a lot. Jaden against the Eagles, when we beat him the 2nd time we played him, he had here we go. He had 81 yards on the ground, and he had 9 carries. So he's definitely going to have at least 8 carries. Nothing less than 8 carries. He probably 9 carries, probably 10 carries, I would guess. Probably 10 carries. There go Pablo. Yes, create a backup channel now. I may have to do that. Tyler Labor said books about the 2024 team, t-shirts, hats. I'm buying. It's my birthday on February 16th. I'll be 42. Congrats, man. Hey, happy early birthday. Hopefully we can celebrate your birthday with a Super Bowl victory, man. The Super Bowl is February 5th. So that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Ed, I hope we win, man. So, yeah, you've seen it all, man. You've seen the good years and the bad years. I haven't been able to see much of the good back in the Joe Gibbs years, but I'm here. I'm witnessing this. This is history. I'm here to be a witness. I am a witness of this. I am a witness. Hey, brother, so many skins / Commanders fan. Yes, there's a lot. There's a lot of us, and we're strong, man. We're strong. Alante Etheridge, what's up, Ed? What's up, man? Red Wing 01 said Dorrance was an unsung hero. Whole D-line was being disruptive. Allen was literally dragging Golf down on that touchdown throw. Yes, Jonathan Allen woke up, and this is what we've been waiting for. And he's healthy. He's healthy from that pec injury. You know, when you have a torn pec, you usually don't come back. And John Allen was like, hey, you know, I see this team making the playoffs, so he wanted to come back for sure. And he was impactful. He was impactful Saturday night. So I love seeing that from him. I love seeing that from Marshawn Lattimore. He had one of his better games. I love that. So I love seeing these guys step up and bounce back when they have down games or down stretches. And Jonathan Allen definitely did that. Dorrance was an unsung hero. Dorrance was huge. Like I said, that was a momentum shifter that forced fumble because they were in our territory. They were moving the football. And if he doesn't force the fumble, then who knows? They probably do score on that drive. They probably score a touchdown. So that was huge by Dorrance. I want to see Dante Fowler get in the mix on Sunday at 3 o'clock and get a forced fumble or get a sack or something like that. They had the terrible face mask call that wasn't a face mask. That's the only reason why they scored on that drive really was because of that phantom face mask call. Like that was so terrible because it would have been a 2-yard loss if they didn't call a face mask. And thank goodness David Montgomery was back because David Montgomery, he did take a couple carries away from Jahmyr Gibbs. David Montgomery finished the night 7 for 28, 7 carries for 28 yards. So that's 4 yards per carry, which is not terrible. But there are a lot of times that we stuffed David Montgomery in the backfield. Like that 3 and out was huge in the beginning of the game. And I think that gave our defense confidence too. It was like, hey, yeah, we can do this, guys. We can do this. We can get this done. Like that was a big 3 and out. Even though the 3 and out was squandered away. I don't think we even scored on the 3 and out. I think that was the time where we had the 4th and 1. We didn't get it, but I think that was good for momentum as well. That I think that helped with our defensive confidence, getting that 3 and out to start the game. Zane Gonzalez too. You can't kick the ball out of bounds. That's a no-no, especially in a dome. So we do need Zane to step it up. I know his nickname is OCZ. I heard that from shout out to Warpath. He said that OCZ. He has the OCD, but we need him to be on point. I don't want to joke him in anything like that. You know, OCD is serious. But he definitely should get a Head and Shoulders sponsorship. Like somebody needs to do that ASAP. Like they need to do that ASAP. Let's see here. Joe Logan said if they have a parade in DC, oh my gosh, that's just gonna be insane. HTTR Carson said Ben Johnson to the Bears. Yes, I did talk about that a little bit earlier. So he's going to be with Caleb Williams. And that kind of shows you too, like Ben Johnson, like where his head was at. Like when they showed Ben Johnson on the camera, like he was taking deep breaths, kind of like he was nervous, but he was taking so many interviews. It's like, you know, where you be where your feet are. Was he really where his feet were? You know, was he really focused on the game? I know he was focused on the game, but like when you do that, like when you already have a defensive coordinator in the weights, like Dennis Allen, like he already knows he's going to hire Dennis Allen. Reportedly, he's going to be his defensive coordinator with the Bears. And you do trick plays, trying to get cute with Jameson Williams throwing the football, like trying to be disrespectful and be cute and stuff like that. Like, you know, I'm happy the Bears got him. I'm happy he's with Caleb Williams. He's a good play caller, but is he a leader of men? That's the question mark. Is he a leader of men? You know, Dan Quinn is a leader of men. Does Ben Johnson have those qualities where he's a leader of men? He may be a really good play caller. He may be a really good offensive guru or whatever, but can he connect with the players? You know, can he get the best out of those guys? Like Dan Quinn, he puts the battery in your back. You know, can Ben Johnson do that? That's the biggest question mark. You know, and it's kind of the same thing with Cliff. Like Cliff struggled with that with the Cardinals. Like they did win games. They made the playoffs. He was a great offensive mind and all that, but you know, it just kind of the time there kind of soured with him. You know, that's the knock on Cliff. Like, can he lead men? I'm not gonna say Cliff is not a leader of men. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying that may just not be his strong suit. Where, you can clearly see that is Dan Quinn's strongest suit, is being a leader in men and getting the best out of guys for sure. So that's the question mark with Ben Johnson. Adam Schefter said that too. He questioned Ben Johnson's leadership, being a leader in men. He questioned that. I remember Adam Schefter said that last year. But to me, Ben Johnson going to the Bears definitely means that Cliff is going to be here another year. I don't think he's going to get a head coaching job this year. I feel like if Cliff really, really wanted to get a head coaching job, he would leave. But I think he wants to stay with Jaden. And I like that. I like that they're going to be together next year so they can have that chemistry together. That's like the biggest takeaway for me, is that him and Cliff are going to be together next year. So I love that. I love that. I love that they're going to have that chemistry and that camaraderie, and where Jaden doesn't have to learn a new language. He's gonna have the same language and all the cadences and stuff like that. Like it's gonna be even scarier to have for him to have. Like, he doesn't have to learn a new playbook and all that. So that's gonna be awesome. He can have his VR headset, his virtual reality headset, and it's gonna be the same play calling and all that stuff. So that's gonna be great. And they can grow together too. Like, they're gonna have some new installs and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see what's gonna come next year with Jaden and Cliff together. And of course, these next two games, the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl coming up. I'm excited to see what Cliff has in store for this Eagles defense, for sure. Joe Logan says he lives in Alaska. I live in Alaska, so I might need someone to put me up, but I'm there. Okay, so you're trying to go to the game. You're going to the Philly game. That's going to be lit, man. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you, Joe, especially living out in Alaska where I know it's cold. I complain about the cold out here in the DMV, so I can't complain too much because I know how it is in Alaska, so I know that for sure. Danny said, oh, this is an Eagles fan. Okay. I'm not going to read your comment for sure. Comacel Brown says, I would love to be a fly on the wall in the Dale Snyder house just to hear what he realizes now he could have had. Yeah, I mean, he's on his yacht right now. He's on his yacht enjoying life. He's on his yacht right now enjoying life. But I love how the second year he's gone, like, we made the NFC Championship, something that he could never do, something that we haven't done in 33 years. Brian Harden said, you see our new stadium go up in record time for sure. For sure. Yeah, if we win the Super Bowl, they're definitely going to build that stadium ASAP. They're going to be, oh, yeah, let's get this done. Winning cures all. It really does. Winning cures all. And just good people. That's a big part of it. Getting a legit owner in there and then just winning, it cures all. Because we're definitely going to get that stadium in DC. Quinshon Judkins just got a 6-yard touchdown catch. So I got to see where he's going to be projected to get drafted, but he's a guy that we could potentially draft at the running back spot, because I feel like we should draft a running back. If not draft a running back, then sign a running back. So Ohio State, they have two stud running backs for sure. I see Maurice Clarett is on the sideline. Shout out to Maurice Clarett. I remember growing up watching Maurice Clarett at Ohio State. But yeah, right now it's 20-7, not 7-7. So that was at 8:23. I'm so sorry. I'm getting through those comments pretty slow here because there's just so much to talk about. Like I said, I'm turned up, I'm teed up, and I'm trying to get through as many comments as I can. Red Wings 01 says DC, MD, and VA just up their bids. T Rose says Daniels bought the city out. He did. He definitely did. The city is lit. I saw so many watch parties on Saturday from like Looney's Pub in College Park and Maple Lawn. I saw Throw Social had a big party. I know ProTech. Shout out to ProTech. He's going to Proper 21 on Sunday. I saw what is it? Tom's Watch Bar. I think that's at the National Harbor, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I know MGM was lit. Like, there were so many watch parties that I saw on Instagram and all over the place. Like the city was lit for sure. The whole DMV. Yeah, Tom's Watch Bar. I saw that. What's the other place that I saw that was super lit that some of my friends went to? I watched it at home. Well, not at home. I watched it at a friend's house, and it was super, super lit. I had a blast. I watched it with a Lions fan, and we were just joking him the whole time. So that was hilarious. He's he's been a Lions fan since he was born. He's from Detroit, so I watched it with him. I made sure to troll him and have fun for sure. Sports and social on U Street. Like I saw so many places that were just packed with Commanders fans. So that's just awesome to see that. And I know Sunday at 3, like I already said, like back in the old days, I always hear like when the games came on, nobody would be outside. People were either at home watching the game or at a bar watching the game on Sundays. And that's just how it was for the Skins back in the day. And that's probably what it's going to be on Sunday. Like the city, like everybody's going to be watching the game. A lot of people are going to be watching the game for sure. David Sanchez says, being in LA, it's hard to find some Washington fans to vibe with. I got a couple followers on Instagram that live out LA for sure. I've seen a couple people for sure. There's definitely a big following, but I believe you. But I know there's a lot of California Commander fans for sure. Let's see here. Let me read some other people's comments that I haven't read. Andrew Wingate said, we need to shut Eagles fans up about the tush push merchant. Yeah, I know. That's the thing with them too. They're a fourth down team too. Dan Campbell and the Lions are a fourth down team, and the Eagles are a fourth down team. So we got to be prepared for the tush push. We got to be prepared for them to go for it on 4th and 3, 4th and 2, and stuff like that too. So we got to be ready for the tush push. I hate the tush push. It's my least favorite play in the NFL. I don't call it the brotherly shove or none of that. It is what it is. It's the tush push. So we got to be prepared for that. M still says the fourth quarter is when we command the football game. Go Commanders. JD is the MJ of the NFL. Michael Jordan. Yeah, I heard some people call Michael Jordan Jaden Christ and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, he's playing really. Like people are ranking the best quarterbacks like out of the 4 that are left right now. And if you say Jaden's the best out of the 4, it's not crazy to say. Like it's like I said. I mean, to say he's playing better football than Pat Mahomes, he is right now. Is he playing better football than Josh Allen? He is right now. He's the best. He's playing the best football in the playoffs right now. He's playing the best football. He's playing better football than Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, Jalen Hurts. Like he just is. It is what it is. You know, he's playing the best football right now. He's the best quarterback right now in the playoffs this year. If you're just talking about the past 2 games of football, he's been the best quarterback. Like if anybody was like, who do I want starting for my football team right now? A lot of people would say Jay Daniels in these games because of the way he's playing. He's playing good football. Pat Mahomes had a good game the other day too against the Texans. He played good. He had a good game. He had a solid game. Texas had a chance to win that game too, though, but the kick got blocked. That was a huge momentum shifter. And I don't want to say the Chiefs have gotten lucky, but they've gotten very fortunate at times. Pat Mahomes actually, he was 16 for 25, 177 yards. So he didn't have a great game. He was sacked 3 times. So Jaden definitely had a better game out of anybody. CJ Stroud went 19 for 28, 245 yards, no picks, no touchdowns, but was sacked 8 times. And Jaden, yeah, he's playing the best football out of everybody. He really is. He's the best quarterback that is left in the playoffs right now. Awesomeness Sports. What's up? Awesomeness. Check out Awesomeness Sports, her YouTube channel. She has a great YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to Awesomeness. She has a great YouTube channel. Daniel Andressy says, hey, Brother Ed, thanks for the live show. Yes, sir. I had to, man. This is monumental, guys. This is monumental and historical. This is historical. It really is. This is a crazy moment. When you've been waiting for this for 33 years, you have to soak in the moment. If I could go live for 24 hours, I really could. I really could have. I really could. And I really would. I would do a stream-a-thon. If we win Sunday, I may have to go live for a couple hours for sure. I may have to do that. I may have to take the day off the next week. T-Rose, yes, Hurts is scared of Luvu. Definitely hearing those footsteps for sure. Rufio, what's up, man? He said Eagles are riding Saquon until his legs literally fall off. He got banged up too. His wrist got hurt. That was a big hit to the Rams. I think Jared Verse did that too with the hit on Saquon. But he hurt his wrist. He left for a second and came back in. But yes, they are riding Saquon. They're living die by Saquon right now. That's what they are. That's their he's the engine to their car. He is the heart and soul of the team. He really is. He's the head of the snake. Is Ishmael Vera says, "Hey brother, so many Skins/Commanders fans out here in Fresno, California, feeling alive and excited once again. We believe ACTR, yes sir, man. California Commanders fans. There's a lot of California Commanders fans, a lot of California Skins fans for sure, man. So I love it. I love it. I love the fan. Like if we would have played the Rams in LA, man, we would have dominated that stadium. Like it would have been a home game. It would have been a home game for sure." Tim Farrell says Jake Elliott didn't have his sock on right. People are saying, I don't know if you're joking or being serious, Tim, but that's not an excuse because he missed a bunch of kicks against us too. But Jake Elliott, he's going to miss a kick on Sunday for sure. He's going to miss one. He probably will miss an extra point as well. Commissar Brown says, Ed, go get the camouflage hat with the burgundy gold W. It's fire. I love mine. So yeah, I'm going to see if they got that on Fanatics or something like that, or NFL.com or the team store. I'm going to look that up for sure. Big Chunga says, big factor will be Jalen Hurts' inability to really escape trouble. He seems to go down easy recently. Yeah, and his leg is hurt, man. He's not 100%. Nobody's 100% at this point, but he got hurt in that game. He definitely got hurt. He was not moving the same after that. He took a safety and all that. So he's not 100% healthy. Right? He's really not. So we got to get after him. He got sacked 8 times. I think we can get at least 5 sacks on Jalen Hurts. Because he's not moving around the same right now. He's not. And if Marshawn Lattimore can hold up against A.J. Brown for, a couple seconds, then we can definitely get to Jalen Hurts. For sure. Joe Logan says 8 in the box on Saquon and we win same game plan as last time. Yeah, we had to sell out. We had to sell out and stop the run. When it was Kenny Pickett in there, we had to sell out and stop the run in the first half against the Eagles on Thursday Night Football. I thought we did a good job in the first half. The thing is, like, we do good against Saquon for halves. Like, we'll do good against Saquon for a half, and then the second half he goes crazy, or he'll go crazy in the first half, and then we slow him down in the second half. It's got to be a full game. It's got to be a full game. And we know how Saquon does. Saquon will be pedestrian for 2 quarters, and the next thing you know, he'll just have a big run for 60 yards, 70 yards. And then that will be the majority of his 125-yard rushing, rushing yard game, or he'll have a 150-yard rushing game. He'll have a bunch of 2-yard, 3-yard, 4-yard, 5-yard carries, and then he'll just break one for 80 yards or 60, 70, 90 yards. That's the Saquon Barkley game. That is the definition of a Saquon Barkley game. He did that against the Rams. He has some big runs against the Rams anyway, but he had 2 big chunk runs. And that's how he got to 205. So anytime Saquon can hit a home run, you can't let him hit those home runs. You just can't. You can't let him hit those home runs. We won games where he hit the home run. He hit the home run against us and we still won. But I think on Sunday you can't let him have that home run. That 80-yard home run, that 60-yard home run, 40-yard home run that he's capable of doing at the drop of a hat. You just can't let that happen. Easier said than done. But Sanjay Anand says, feel like people ain't talking about the Dorn strip sack completely flipped the game on its head. I said that. That was such a momentum swinger. It really was. That was a big play because they were marching. They were marching down the field. They definitely could have scored a touchdown. Jadrudon White Docs Williams, what's up, man? He said, what's up, man? What's going on, man? What's up, man? Feeling good, feeling great. Feeling good, feeling great as always. I see Meese in the chat. What's up, man? Sanjay said, Brock did it. Jay Villa says, hashtag trusting Adam Peters. Generational curse breaker. Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger, he did have a really good rookie season. He did. See, the thing is with Ben, shout out to Kenny, man. That's my guy. Shout out to Ken. Shout out to Kenny. Yes, Ben Roethlisberger had a really good rookie season. The crazy thing is that if you look at the other rookies, like their surrounding cast was really good. And I'm not gonna dump on our surrounding cast or like the wide receivers and tight ends and stuff like that. But like Ben had that defense, that Steelers defense. He had the boss Jerome Bettis. He had Hines Ward. Like he had a really good team. He had a team that was already set in place. Same thing with the Seahawks with Russell Wilson. They had Marshawn Lynch, the Legion of Boom, Richard Sherman, Dan Quinn as a defensive coordinator. So they had a better supporting cast. James getting it done with De'Ami Brown stepping up and Zach Ertz on the last leg of his career. Austin Eckler, on the last leg of his career coming back from a concussion. So this is what Jaden's getting it done with. And the offensive line is solid. Like we have a good offensive line, but we have a rookie left tackle and Brandon Coleman. Andrew Wiley had a down year last year. He's bounced back. Sam Cosmi had a good year. We had Nick Allegretti, who was really a backup for the Chiefs for the majority of his career. And he's come in, he's done a fine job. You got Biotic, who's been a baller so far. So you got B-Rob, who's been inconsistent, but B-Rob stepped up. So that's the difference really between Russell Wilson's rookie year and Ben Roethlisberger's rookie year, is that they had a team that was really set up for success for the most part. They inherited really good rosters. And our defense is giving up a lot of points. They're giving up a lot of yards on the ground too. So it's like, our best defense is our offense. Time of possession, keep away, grinding out the clock. Like that's our best offense, is playing keep away. And that's what we've done. Robert Snyder, thank you for the donation again. Shout out to my guy Robert Snyder, man. He's holding it down tonight for sure. I appreciate you, man. He says, as a high school DB coach against the Eagles, I would stay away from cover too high unless it's 3rd and 12 or more. They like to throw underneath, crossing routes, tight ends down the middle, or run Jalen Hurts. Yeah, you're right. I mean, A.J. Brown is a slant guy. He's a slant merchant. That's what they love to do. It was 4th down against the Rams, and a big play that they made that they converted on was a slant pass to A.J. Brown. And Marshawn has to be prepared for that. So I do want to see if he follows A.J. Brown. We'll see if we do that. When he has followed guys, it kind of hasn't really worked out the 2 times. We are undefeated with Marshawn Lattimore. Don't forget that. We're 4-0 with Marshawn Lattimore playing. So let's see if they do have Marshawn follow A.J. Brown or if they just stick him on that one side of the field. The games where he's stuck on one side of the field, those have been his better games. The Saints game, he's stuck on one side of the field. They didn't throw it his way. And then the Lions game, they only targeted him one time. And he didn't follow Armon Ra. He didn't follow Jameson. He just stuck on one side of the field. So maybe that's just better for Marshawn. I would like to see Marshawn follow AJ, of course. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, like you said, stay away from cover 2. We're capable of doing that with Marshawn. If Marshawn can do what he's brought here for, that definitely makes it easier. Excuse me, so we can focus more on slowing down Saquon Barkley. And Dallas Goedert, he's going to be an X factor. Dallas Goedert has been a go-to guy for Jalen Hurts ever since he came back. So we definitely have to pay attention to Dallas Goedert. So we need a big Frankie Luvu game on Dallas Goedert. Whoever's guarding Dallas Goedert, Bobby Wagner, whoever is holding down the middle of the field, they definitely have to account for Dallas Goedert because he's played good football for them in the playoffs. He had a touchdown against Green Bay. Grant Calcaterra is not awful too. He's a decent backup tight end. Yeah, Dallas Goedert against the Packers. He had 4 catches for 47 yards and a touchdown. And he had a catch for 24 yards. So slowing down Dallas Goedert is going to be a big part of the game plan too, as you brought up the tight ends down the middle. You gotta account for Grant Calcaterra and Dallas Goedert for sure. And Jalen Hurts, we'll see how much he runs because I do think his leg is not 100%, which, like I said, everybody's not 100%. But I do think that's going to be impactful in the game because of the way they rolled on his legs. I got to see who sacked him when I play. I don't know if it was Jared Verse or whoever. But, yes, that would be a good game plan, Robert Snyder. Coming from a DB's coach in Robert Snyder, we appreciate that for sure from you. Joe Logan, thank you for the donation. He says, anytime, anybody, anytime, anywhere, ball is life. Anybody can get it. Yes, I got to get that T-shirt too. If they got it anytime, anywhere, anybody can get it. We want the smoke and all that. I definitely will get that. I definitely will get that kind of shirt. And ball is life is the motto. Ball is life is the motto for sure. I love that. Ball is life. Ball was life. Ball definitely was life. I'm looking at the halftime show in this game. Who is that performing? I can't even tell who that is. But ball is life, man. That's the motto. Ball is life is the motto for sure. We got to get it. Like I said, I think the formula for success is at least getting 1 interception And is that Travis Scott? But anytime, anybody, anywhere. Ball is life. Jake Tribal or Jake Tribble. Jake Tribal says, love Ed and Pedro, HCTR. Yes, thank you, man. Thank you for the donation. Yes, Pedro is my guy. Excuse me. Make sure you subscribe to Pedro Smith, man. He is a great Commanders YouTuber, great content creator, all that. Great guy. He goes to Virginia Tech University as well. Hokey High, all that good stuff. He has a bright future ahead of him. So talented at what he does. You guys got to follow his Twitter too. He always puts out really good information, good content, all that stuff. He's a great YouTuber. He was on my stream last week on Friday when I had Warpath on the stream too. Warpath is an awesome YouTuber too. Great Commanders content creators. There's so many good content creators, and this is the great thing about it too, is that you get to see how great a community that we have of content creators. You get to see so many good guys who work hard and put the work in. Creating content and just having fun. That's the biggest thing, is just having fun doing this and talking with everybody and just enjoying the moment. So you get to see all the people who make content on YouTube or whatever platform or whatever. It could be TikTok, it doesn't matter, or Twitter, social media, Instagram. You know, you're seeing so many passionate fans come out with great content and just creative minds, and you love to see it. You love to see it in any way, shape, or form. You love to consume it and watch it, and always support people who talk about the Commanders in any way, shape, or form. All right. Like I said, when it gets people more shine too. Like I said, we've been doing this during the down years, the dog years, the bad years, and all that stuff. So it's good to see that that we're winning now. People are getting more shine. So that's what I love about the winning aspect about it. Jay Hunter Lee, thank you for the donation. He says, Brother Ed, do you see T. Higgins coming here? Do you think he wants to come here? And lastly, man, the Wizards need a new coach and GM. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't bail on the Wizards GM just yet, because this is his second year here. So I wouldn't do that. It's a process. They're going to tank. They're going to be bad for years. They're going to get Cooper Flagg or Ace Bailey or Ron Harper's son or whoever. So that's the plan, to be bad. They're going to be bad for years. So you got to trust the process, just like the Sixers. But to get back to football, T. Higgins, I would love T. Higgins here. I really would. I mean, you have a room of Terry McLaurin, T. Higgins, and De'Ami Brown now. You know, now you have to put De'Ami Brown in the conversation of wide receiver 3 at the minimum, wide receiver number 3. Even if you draft a receiver in the top 3 rounds, De'Ami Brown is still wide receiver number 3 to me on this team. Like, after this performance, no less than wide receiver 3. Noah Brown, we'll talk about this later, of course. We'll see if they bring him back or not. I wouldn't mind bringing him back, but with De'Ami Brown playing the way he did, you know, it's like, hey, maybe they may move on from Noah Brown and see what happens, you know. But like I said, I wouldn't mind bringing Noah Brown back. But to answer your question, yes, T. Higgins, yeah, I would bring him in. I would bring him in if you could. Of course, you got to throw a bag at him. There's some injury concerns with T. Higgins too. Excuse me. But I would love to see T. Higgins and Terry on this team. You could have the nickname like T Time, Double T, or whatever. Terry and T Higgins. Like, that would be a nasty receiving core. It would be a 1A, 1B, or just both of them be wide receiver number 1s. And if you look at T. Higgins, the games he's played, so he played in 12 games in 2023. He played in 12 games in 2024. So he hasn't been terrible with injuries. He played 16 games in 2023, 14 games in 2021, 16 games in 2020. He had 911 receiving yards this year, 10 touchdowns. His longest catch was 42 yards. He had, 2 touchdowns against the Broncos in a game that they really, really needed. So he's had a really good career so far. He's looking for a bag. Right now, contractually, though, it's like Terry's getting paid, $23 million per year. So if you're going to give T. Higgins $30 million, it's like, yeah, you got to restructure Terry's deal and give him an extension. You got to pay him more than $23 million. And this is the time to do it, because Jaden's on a rookie deal. Jaden 2 years from now or 3 years from now is going to get a ridiculous deal. He probably will reset the quarterback market. So we're gonna have cap space. We're gonna have about $90 to $100 million in cap space. That's the scary thing for the league too. It's a scary sight for the league, y'all. It's a scary sight. Like we got the bread, we got the money to wheel and deal. We got the picks to wheel and deal. We got the GM that's willing to wheel and deal and make moves, and that's smart. So it's gonna be real scary for the league for the next decade. It's gonna be real scary. But I wanted to see the wide receiver market, like how much, like the pay. Like Jalen Waddle got a bunch of money. Brandon Ayuk got $30 million. So I know Terry's looking at that and like, hey, like he needs to get a raise, which he deserves it. Like he deserves. So you got to take care of the people that are here first too, for sure. So that's the only thing with T Higgins, that he wants to get a bag. Yeah, Justin Jefferson is getting paid $35 million a year. CeeDee Lamb $34 million a year. AJ Brown $32. Amon Ra $30. Tyreek $30 million a year. Brandon Ayuk $30 million a year. Jaden Waddle $28 million per year. Devontae Adams $28 million per year. Terry's getting $23 million a year. So Terry's like top 15 or top 20 in salary. So if you bring in T Higgins right now is making $21 million per year right now. So there are some other receiver options. I'll go over that in the offseason, of course. But there's definitely some options that we can go after at the wide receiver position. Like it's not the sexiest free agent. Like Chris Godwin, he's going to be available too. I think he'll be a little bit cheaper than T Higgins, so I wouldn't mind Chris Godwin too. Excuse me, Chris Godwin. DeAndre Hopkins is going to be a free agent, maybe a 1-year deal. You know, he has familiarity with Cliff. I think he would be a good wide receiver number 2 to Terry and De'Ami Brown. So I wouldn't mind seeing him on the team. But like I said, I know we're going to talk about this in a couple weeks, like 2 weeks from now. Amari Cooper's a free agent. And somebody else who I like is a free agent too. I'm pulling up right now real quick. Excuse me. Stephon Diggs. I'm good on Stephon Diggs, even though he's from Maryland. There's just a lot of baggage with him right now. Keenan Allen is a free agent, maybe a 1-year deal, but he's old. He's 32. Amari Cooper. I like Amari Cooper a lot. And then other than that, it's kind of like not a lot of. It's a drop off. Like Hollywood Brown is a free agent, but he's been super injured. Darius Slayton is a good wide receiver number 3, wide receiver number 4. So that getting him doesn't move me at all. So yeah, the wide receiver market is really not great after Chris Godwin and T Higgins and Amari Cooper and DeAndre Hopkins. So other than that, to me, it's a kind of an underwhelming wide receiver group. But we're definitely going to draft a guy. And if we don't get T, then I would go after Chris Godwin. That's my second choice. Even after the ankle injury, I would go after Chris Godwin. Because if you get Chris Godwin, you got to think about it this way too. He would take away from the Buccaneers. He would make them weaker. Because if Chris Godwin was there last week, that clearly would have made it tougher for us to beat the Buccaneers. So I think Chris Godwin not being there definitely helped. All right, Robert Snyder, thank you again, man. Shout out to my guy Robert Snyder, man, for holding it down, man. Shout out to Robert Snyder, man. Shout out to Robert Snyder. He's a good guy for sure. He says Commanders will hold Saquon Barkley to under 100 yards rushing and Jalen Hurts to under 180 yards passing. I see us beating them by 10. If we beat them by 10, man, oh my gosh, we're talking big trash. We're talking big trash if we go into Philly and beat them by 10 in their house. That would be a huge win. I think holding Saquon under 100 yards is a winning formula for sure. If you can hold him to 80 yards, that would be huge for sure. We've seen him go for 100, 125. He just had 205 yards on the ground against the Rams. So holding him down to under 100 yards would be huge. That would be huge. Holding Hurts under 180 yards is kind of like that's what he's been doing. But, of course, if we can do that again, that would be great, but that's kind of what he's been doing. He's kind of been like Alex Smith-esque with passing yards. And it's all good. Like, you don't always have to throw 200, 300 yards or be like Jaden and throw for 299 yards and win. Sometimes ugly does win. He threw for 131 yards against Green Bay. So he's really throwing like under 150 yards. Like he's really not throwing for a lot. Like Jalen Hurts is not. He's really not doing much. He really has been Alex Smith-esque out there. He has 70 yards on the ground though, so that's like the biggest thing. And he had a rushing touchdown. And you look at the Carolina game, he threw for 108 yards against Carolina. He threw for 118 yards against Baltimore, but they won that game. Like they've been winning these games with him throwing for like 100 yards. 179 yards against the Rams. They won that game 37-20 because of Saquon. Against us on Thursday Night Football, he threw for 221 yards, but he didn't really have a good game that game. And he was sacked twice, no touchdowns, no picks. Then he threw for 202 yards against Dallas. They won 34-6. Dallas was awful at that time. And they barely beat the Jaguars 28-23. He threw for 230 yards. So a lot of the games towards the end of the year, he only threw for like 100. He threw, like I said, 108 against Carolina, 118 against Baltimore, 179 against the Rams. And then in the playoffs, 131 against Green Bay, 128 passing yards against the Rams. And he was sacked 7 times. He had a QBR of 49.5. So if we can replicate that, which I think we can with Dante, Cleveland, Dorrance, Frankie, Bobby, I think we can definitely get Deron Payne, Johnny Newton, Jalen Holmes, those guys. I think we can really get after them. I don't know about 7 sacks, but I feel like we can definitely get some pressure on Jalen Hurts for sure. We did it on Thursday Night Football, so I don't see why we can't do it again. We can definitely get after him. Quinshaw Judkins is having a ball game. He's having a ball game right now. He really is. He's having a darn good game. He's having a heck of a game. So I don't know if we can get him. He has 4 rushes for 86 yards and a touchdown. He just had a 70-yard run. This running back class is really good. I mean, even if you get somebody like Scatabo in the 4th round, 3rd round, like that's a win to me. So there's a lot of running backs in this draft. For sure. But like I said, I'm not going to talk too much about the offseason stuff just yet. But Quinshawn Judkins is having a heck of a game. Excuse me. AJSTP003. Thank you for the super sticker. Thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate you for that, man. I really do. I appreciate it. It means a lot to me for sure. Definitely means a lot. All right. Teddy says our defense is way too porous for that. Yeah, I mean, I would love to keep Saquon under 80 yards, but it is what it is. Jim D says, I wonder what OG thinking right now. I got to get my guys on for a stream. I really do. I got to get my guys on for a stream. We'll definitely do an end of the year stream. It's been tough to get the gang together. Lately, but I'm gonna try to get the guys on for sure. For an end of the year stream or a Super Bowl preview stream, something like that would be hilarious and fun. That would be so much fun. Like a Super Bowl stream would just be insane. It would be insane, or I'll say it will be. We'll speak it into existence. Zach Ertz is guaranteed for 2 touchdowns at 16 times your money. Oh yeah, Zach Ertz versus Nick Sirianni too. I can't wait because they did have words with each other. They did. And Nick Sirianni had to call Zach Ertz and apologize. I almost forgot about that dynamic too. That is hilarious. That's hilarious. So I want to see those guys too. We'll see if they talk before the game, if they talk before the game or anything like that. That's going to be hilarious. So we really do we're starting to legit have a rivalry with the Eagles. And I love that. That's the way it's supposed to be, guys. Like a lot of these rivalries are dying. In basketball and football. So it's good to see people who actually don't like each other and that actually hate each other. Like it's about time. I miss that. Big Leo says, guys, the only way we're going to win is to not go for it on 4th downs, but take the 3 points. I know it's risky, but this is to go to the championship. They need to take the 3 points no matter what. So Big Leo, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I mean, this is how we got in here. Now, it just depends on the situation and the momentum and the context of the game. Like, if Jalen Hurts is struggling, then yeah. But against the Lions, it's kind of like, yeah, you got to get the touchdowns. You got to score. That's why I said, like, earlier, I was like, this might be the game where you can take the points. This might be the game where you can settle for field goals and still win. Where it may be like 20, 24-20, 23-20. Even the 23-20 win, we still had to go for it on 4th down because we know Baker, say what you want to say about Baker, But Baker is playing better football than Jalen Hurts. I fear Baker more than I fear Jalen Hurts. Like, let's be real here. You know, Baker was moving the ball against us. He was getting the ball to Mike Evans whenever he felt like doing it. He did. And Bucky Irvin was killing us too. So I mean, like, you know, this game I feel like you may be able to win with a couple field goals. You may be able to win 23-20 again with this one. The Lions, you had to put up points. Jahmyr Gibbs wasn't playing around. Like, you had to put up points. You just had to. Excuse me. But with the Eagles, I feel like you can win with a field goal. You can win with just taking the points. I still feel like I said, I still feel like you have to get at least 3 4th downs to win this game. You're gonna have to put your money where your mouth is, like Dan Quinn has done this year. You know, you have to show off the cojones like Dan Quinn has. You know, you just gotta let it hang. You gotta let him hang. Dan Quinn's let him hang, and you can do that when you got the quarterback that can do that. That can do it and get it done. So Big Leo, I understand where you're coming from. I don't disagree with you wholeheartedly, but there's going to be some times where you got to put up points and get a touchdown and not a field goal. You know, on a 4th and 3, on the Eagles 30 or on the Eagles 40-yard line, it's like, yeah, you can kick the field goal and take the points, but you know, maybe Saquon scampers up the field for a touchdown. You're like, oh man, dang, we should have took the 7, you know, or we should have tried to get the 7 points. So I definitely hear you. I hear you, Big Leo. I hear you for sure. So, and there may be a time where you don't get the 4th down. You're like, dang, we should have took the points, and that happened on Thursday Night Football where we were up 12-10, and we did the outside run to Jaden, and they stopped it, they stuffed it, and they sniffed it out, and it's like, dang, we should have just kicked the field goal. So there could be an instance where that does happen. So we'll see. It's just about feel. And you got to live and die with the results at times, you know. So we'll see. 4th down is the biggest. That probably, other than the Saquon slowing him down, the biggest key to victory to me, excuse me, probably is going to be 4th down conversions and decision making. That's what it's going to come down to. What do you do on 4th down? Do you kick the field goal? Do you punt? You know, there may be a chance where it's like, hey, let's trust Way and punt the ball and try to pin them on the 1-yard line and play the field position game. You know, what if this game is a field position game? You just never know. This could be a grinded out, nasty game. A lot of the Eagles games have been grinded out games for the most part. They haven't been really pretty like our games where it's like a lot of going up and down the field. A lot of their games have been ugly. If it's not for the Saquon breakout runs, then their games are ugly. If you really look at it that way, you don't want to get in the ifs and woulda, coulda, shouldas, but if you take away the Saquon big-time runs, a lot of their games have been ugly offensively. They really have. If you take away the big run from Saquon and make them, you know, grind out a drive instead of having a big Saquon Barkley 40-yard run or a Jalen Hurts 40-yard run, you know. But, yes, 4th downs are going to be huge. So we'll see how the game flow is, and we'll see what Dan Quinn decides to do. We already know what Dan Quinn's going to do, though. We already know he's going to go for it. We already know it is. We already know what he's going to do. Day and Night Show with Hesham. Thank you for the donation. He says, one day I'm watching your post Super Bowl win vid. I love it. Speak it into existence, man. I love it. I love it, man. I see it happening. I would love to see it happen. That would just be an insane moment. It would be an insane moment, a full circle moment to witness that, to witness a Super Bowl and a parade in D.C. and Jay Dale's rookie season. Dan Quinn's first year coaching here, Adam Peters' first year as a GM and all that stuff, new ownership. I mean, that would be crazy. It would be like a holiday. It would be like a holiday. I wouldn't even know how to react. It would just be a surreal outer body experience moment if we win the Super Bowl. It really will be. It really would be. You know, so that it would just be awesome. It would just be awesome. It really would be. Just thinking about it is insane. Just injected into my veins. Dynamic Dave says, Ed, if we win, we don't let Saquon have a 40-yard plus run and we get 1 or 2 turnovers. Yeah, we definitely got to force a turnover. That's going to be huge, and we definitely will do it. I think we're gonna get to Jalen Hurts. I think we will. I think Joe Witt Jr. is going to dial up some stuff, and we're going to get pressure on Jalen Hurts. I think we're going to get at least 4 sacks. I don't think he's as mobile as he was before he got injured. In that game, 28-7, Ohio State, they're dominating Notre Dame right now. So this game is probably over. Ohio State's very talented. I was watching for Emeka Abunke. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing his name. At receiver, I really wanted to see what he's doing. I haven't seen him at all. I don't know if he's playing or not. Emeka, he is playing. He has 4 catches for 33 yards, 12-yard catch. So the receivers haven't done much at all, except for Jeremiah Smith got a touchdown. But it's really been the run game for them tonight. As Quinshon Judkins, who's just a stud, has been balling tonight with 88 yards on the ground, 6 carries, 2 touchdowns. I mean, 70-yard run. That guy's just balling. He's playing really well. Jeremiah Smith is a freshman. I really wish he was like a junior or a senior so he could come out because I would love to draft that guy at Ohio State. But Emeka has been mocked to us, so I would love him as a commander too. Luther Burden, he wants to be a commander so bad. He comments on anything Jaden Daniels puts up, like he comments on it like all the time. Like he's a Jaden Daniels fan through and through. Andrew A says, Ed, do you think we'll be fine without Sam Cosmi? I think we will be okay without Sam Cosmi. It's going to be tough. It is going to be a drop-off for sure. Sam Cosmi's had a really good year. He just got the extension last year. He just got paid. But I think we'll be okay. Of course, slowing down Jalen Carter is going to be a tall task. But I think we can do it. We're going to have to double him for sure. So Sam Cosmi, the offensive lineman with 0 pressures allowed in the divisional round. Sam Cosmi allowed 0 pressures. But, he's going to be out. But he did a great job. With minimum 15 snaps. Also, in Week 17 against the Falcons, Sam Cosmi, the most pass blocking snaps with 0 pressures allowed in Week 17 was Sam Cosmi with 49. So, I mean, he's been really good, man. He's been really good. And we are going to miss him. For sure. He did struggle in the first game against the Eagles, but we definitely need him against Jalen Carter for sure. So it is a big blow to the team. But I think I think we'll make something happen. We've done a good job so far with the offensive line. Let's see here. Sam Cosmi, there's some other grades here too. So this is per PFF. Sam Cosmi is the highest graded offensive player in the NFL since Week 13. He allowed 0 sacks and just 1 pressure. That was last season, though. Also, see some other numbers. But, yeah, Sam Cosmi, he's a dog, man. He's a dog. And he's a leader of the team. He's been a captain before and all that good stuff. So, Sam Cosmi is a dog, man. I really hate that he's injured, man, and I hope a speedy recovery. The tough thing about the injury is the timing. I talked about this earlier. Is that he may miss some time next year too. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens because the injury was so late in the year. So I wouldn't be surprised if he misses some time next year too. So they may have to sign a guard for in the offseason. But I think we'll be okay. Like I said, Trent Scott did a good job at guard. You do have Chris Paul off the bench. You do have Dieter off the bench, or you can kick in Andrew Wiley at right guard and then have Cornelius Lucas play right tackle. Cornelius Lucas has done a great job as a swing tackle this year, and when he's had to start, he's done a good job. And when he was doing a swap with Brandon Coleman at left tackle, there were some games where he was the best left tackle between the two, or he was the better left tackle between the two, and then Brandon Coleman got the majority of the snaps throughout the season, like in the second half of the year. But Cornelius Lucas is a really good backup. And I think he would be fine at right tackle. If Trent Scott's not playing well, then they do have to make a decision pretty quickly. I know the Packers, they were shuffling linemen against the Eagles. Like they benched a lineman, a guard that came in and had a couple penalties. They had to bench a guy. So, but I think we'll be good, man. I think we'll be fine. It's a big blow to the team. I love Sam Cosmi, but I think we'll be all right. Hold on a second, guys. Shout out to my guy, Robert Snyder, for holding it down again. That's my guy, Robert Snyder, man. Shout out to Robert Snyder holding it down, man. He says, in the offseason, sign T. Higgins and put DMV Brown in the slot, draft a corner and running back and build up the offensive line and defensive line, and we will win the next 3 Super Bowls right after we win the bowl this year. So, we will have a dynasty, man. We have a dynasty. I would love it. I mean, I'm down for T. Higgins. I'm down for T. Higgins. You got to pay to play. I mean, if you got to pay him, go ahead and make that money. Go ahead and pay him. And then, like I also said before, like I would extend Terry and up his money too. You got to take advantage of Jaden Daniels being on a rookie deal. You look at the other teams in the conference or in the division. You look at what the Eagles did. They surrounded Jalen Hurts with a lot of talent. They brought in A.J. Brown, and it would just make life a lot easier for Jaden too. Make life a lot easier. And then you have a guy in DeAndre Brown who's really stepped up. So you have three good receivers. You have an all-pro in Terry. And then you have a perennial Pro Bowler in T. Higgins, and then you have a really, really good number 3 in DeAndre Brown. I think that would be a good receiver core. And then you draft somebody maybe in the 4th round, something like that. Or if you really like somebody in the 2nd or 3rd round, if you really, really like them, if Cliff really, really, really likes him, Adam Peters really, really likes somebody in the first 3 rounds or wide receiver, then go get them. And Adam Peters we trust. If they really feel strongly about getting somebody. If they really want to get Luther Burden, if he does drop to the 28th pick or whatever pick we're going to get now, or the 30th pick, the last pick of the draft, and albeit, then so be it. And if you want to get T. Higgins and do that, but draft a corner. Yes, we do need another corner. We love Mikey. Mikey's been an unsung hero in the playoffs. Marshawn Lattimore is going to be here for the next 2 years, which is awesome. Hopefully he keeps it up on Sunday against A.J. Brown. And we definitely need a running back. I love B-Rob, but you got to get somebody who's more explosive and more elusive and who can, hit a home run. You got to get somebody in here with more speed and explosiveness. I love B-Rob, but you got to get somebody else in here. And of course, the trenches. The trenches are super important. Brandon Coleman's done a decent job. He's had some ups and downs for sure, just like any rookie. So do you bring in another left tackle? And like I said, with Sam Cosmi being injured and looks like he probably will miss possibly some time going into maybe training camp or maybe preseason or maybe into a game, it looks like you got to sign a right guard. You got to bring somebody else. You got Allegretti, who's probably going to start at left guard. Center, Tyler Biotis is going to start. Wiley's probably going to come back and start at right tackle. Cosmi next year at right guard. So it's kind of like you can sign alignment, but who's going to be replaced? Do they want to move Brandon Coleman to left guard? A lot of people say that he was really better suited to be a guard. He does have quick feet. If he really is better suited to be a guard, maybe you move him to left guard. But what do you do with Allegretti? And then left tackle, you would either draft a left tackle or assign a left tackle. I'd rather kind of get a veteran in there because you want to protect your young quarterback. You want to protect the franchise for sure. Or do you just let Brandon Coleman grow and develop and see what happens next year with Brandon Coleman? You can see what happens with that. For sure. Let's see here. C Trill, what's up, man? He says, "Let's go Redskins with the burgundy and gold hearts." Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go Skins. Brian is always 33. Says Ohio State 31, Notre Dame 7 through halfway through the 3rd. Sebastian Gaskin says we need an edge rusher. Yeah, we do need another pass rusher. I love what Dorrance Armstrong did against the Lions. I love what Dante Fowler's been able to do. Dante Fowler was top 5 in sacks. He might be top 5 in sacks to end the regular season. He's had a really good season so far, pass rushing. And we definitely do need another pass rusher. There's a lot of needs that we have on the roster, which is just so crazy to see, like how far we've made it when there's a lot of needs on the roster, Cleveland Farrell's done a good job. Of course, he's not an elite pass rusher, but he's been fine. He's been okay at times. So, yes, we do need an edge rusher. We definitely do need an edge rusher. Benjamin asks, you see Commanders fans there already? I know tickets just went on sale on Tuesday. Today at 10. No, they go on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m. So if you're gonna buy a ticket, you gotta wait till tomorrow at 10 a.m. But yes, he said never seen so many Commanders fans in Philly. then at the Thursday night game, we really could take over the stadium on Sunday. So, okay, I like that. Okay, there's a lot of people there on Thursday night. Okay, I like that. I love that. So we really could take over Philly. That would be crazy if we took over NFC East opponent stadium. I know we took over the Giants stadium, and we were singing. Fans were singing "Hell to the Redskins." I did see that when we beat the Giants that second game when we swept them. So that would be love to take over the Philly stadium. If you are going, you got to travel in packs, travel in bunches. Don't walk alone, because when we do beat them, I know they're going to try to do something crazy, either throw batteries at you or jump you and stuff like that. We know how Philly fans get down, so be safe, be careful, and like I said, move in packs, move together and stick together. If you are a Commander fan, if you see other Commander fan, definitely dap them up, say what's up, all that stuff. Stick together for sure. Stick together. That's what you got to do out there in Philly. Quincy Jones said, "We'll also see what guys want to take a pay cut to come." Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, Quincy Jones, you brought up DJ Reed. DJ Reed was tweeting about the Commanders the whole game. He was talking about, I think he was talking about Mikey Sanders still. He was tweeting about him. He was tweeting about Jaden, saying he's like that. You see a lot of people tweeting about Jaden, and a lot of people are going to want to come here. DJ Reed, he put the eyes emoji, I think, when Marshawn Lattimore got traded, and he the tweets that DJ Reed was putting out, he put out some cryptic tweets, but a lot of the tweets kind of were like, man, like it kind of looked like if you put some dots together and read between the lines, it kind of looked like he wanted to come here. Honestly, it really did, and he's going to be a free agent, so let's see what happens with that. We would have a really nice cornerback room with Noah Igbenogany and Marshawn and Mikey and DJ Reed. Like, that would be a really good cornerback room. That would be a huge upgrade over what we had this year before the trade deadline. Gabriel Q says, if we win the Super Bowl, Jay might go down as the greatest rookie season in all sports. Oh my gosh. I mean, yeah, it is. It is. That's the best rookie season in all of sports. I mean, maybe Magic Johnson. I know Magic Johnson, I think he won the NBA championship his rookie year. I think he did. I'm pretty sure he did. So that would be funny that Magic Johnson was won the championship in his rookie year, and then Jaden does it. Let me look up Wikipedia. I'm pretty sure I did. I remember watching the old NBA clips, and I'm pretty sure he won the finals that year. NCAA. He also became one of 4 players to win NCAA and NBA championships in consecutive years. So yeah, his rookie year he did win the championship. That is crazy. Yeah, and the Lakers compiled a 60-22 record in the regular season and reached the 1980 NBA Finals, where they faced the Philadelphia 76ers. Isn't that full circle too? Where they faced the Philadelphia Sixers, where Jaden faces the Philadelphia Eagles. The Lakers took a 3-2 lead in the series. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar sprained his ankle. I do remember that. I think that was the game where Magic did the hook shot too. He did the crazy hook shot. And they started Johnson at center in Game 6. He scored 42 points, 15 boards, 7 assists, 3 steals. So, yeah, this is a full circle moment here, guys. This is a full circle moment. NBA Finals MVP. Hey, look, I just found a nugget here. I forgot. Magic Johnson was the NBA Finals MVP his rookie year. And they beat the Sixers in the Super Bowl. Jaden Daniels, let's connect. I might be reaching here, but I'm connecting a little bit of dots here. Full circle historical moment. Jaden Daniels, Super Bowl MVP rookie year, just like how Magic Johnson, who has ownership in the team, was NBA Finals MVP his rookie year, and he beat the Sixers. And Jaden Daniels could beat the Philadelphia Eagles and then go on to the next round and be the Super Bowl MVP as a rookie. So, I mean, hey, I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. Hey, look, Magic Johnson's here for a reason. He's here for a reason. So let's see Jaden do the same thing. That would be crazy. Jay Sampson said the Lakers had Kareem, but Kareem got hurt that game. He did. He got hurt that game. There was a comment I was going to read. Katie H says, don't switch up. What makes us more dangerous, we own 4th down, period. And that's kind of how I was feeling too. I know somebody commented to say to take the field goals. And there was a couple times against the Buccaneers where I said, take the points, but we scored and got a touchdown. Same thing with the Lions. I was like, hey, there was 1 or 2 times where I said, let's just take the field goal, but it worked out. and we got the 4th down. So it's a lot of times where you say, no, don't do it. But Jaden Daniels gets it done. Terry McLaurin gets it done. Zach Ertz gets it done. DeAndre gets it done. Somehow, some way, Austin Eckler runs for a 1st down against the Buccaneers on 4th and 1. So Cliff gets it done. So that's my thoughts on 4th down. I get it for the people who would rather kick the field goal. Sometimes that's the type of time I am on too. Sometimes I'm just like, hey, take the points, man. Just take the points. But a lot of the times it's like, yeah, you gotta let him hang. You gotta let him hang, and you got a guy who can do it in Jaden Daniels. Notre Dame did a fake punt and failed. Ouch! I did not see that. But when you're desperate and you're down, you try everything. You try anything. Now it's 31-7. Riley Leonard is 9 for 14 and 74 yards. His longest pass is for 14 yards. So that's just a domination. They're getting dominated from start to finish. 70 Chip says defensive players can smell blood, and right now Hurts is a swimmer in the ocean with a cut. Yeah, I mean, Frankie Lou with those sharks, Frankie, Bobby, excuse me, Dorrance, the whole defensive line right now. And he's not 100% either. He's not 100%. He's not 100%. Gabriel Q says, if we win the Super Bowl, Jaden might go down as the greatest rookie in all sports. I read that. Yes, he definitely would be. By far. By far. Tatum said, LOL bro said they throw batteries. They do. They do. Philly fans, they throw batteries, man. They really do. They throw batteries. They don't know how to act. They do not know how to act. They don't know how to act. They boo Santa Claus. They had a Philly fan was just talking to a Packers fan's wife, Basaraki, who does YouTube content. He went to the game and they berated his wife. They called her the C word, which is so inappropriate. And that fan got fired. They found the fan's identity, kind of like the Ravens fan who beat up 2 Commanders fans in the middle of the street. And that guy got fired. He's going to jail. This Philly fan he got fired from his job for calling the Bakasarari's wife the C word. So, I mean, we already know how Eagles fans are. We already know. Yeah, they were fighting with Nick Sirianni. We saw Nick Sirianni. He shaved his head earlier this year. He was going back and forth with Philly fans and whatnot. So Philly fans are ruthless. Like if we can get the boo birds out, if we can get the Philly fans booing and start up going up 10-0 or something like that and get the boo birds out, I can see us putting them away. I can see us putting them away and getting the crowd into it in a bad way where they start booing, which Philly fans do boo all the time. Then yeah, we could put them away. Where somebody said we would beat them by 10. Somebody in the chat predicted us to beat them by 10. So that's where I can see us beating them by 10, where we can get their fans to turn on them and start booing them. All right. Nick said, do you think Quinyon will be fully healthy? They said that he's fine. I don't think he's fully healthy, though, with the hurt shoulder. But once again, nobody's really fully healthy at this point. So you got to look at it this way. But Jalen Hurts, like I do want to see how he moves. I really want to see that. I want to see how he moves. Like if they do show like the Philly media, I know they'll be showing some stuff. Excuse me, of their practice and stuff. I'll be looking at some of the clips. I really will. I'm gonna be paying attention to that. Whatever they post on Twitter, I'm gonna be looking at the Eagles beat reporters. Whatever practice clips they have of Jalen Hurts moving around and stuff like that, I'm definitely gonna be watching for sure. Jay Sampson said, did you notice Jaden is like the only quarterback without a play card on his wrist? Yeah, he's so smart, man. In the virtual headset, I know he studies and grinds the tape and all that good stuff. Like, that is true. Excuse me. He is one of the few quarterbacks without wearing the wrist playbook, the playbook on his wrist. And it's fine if other people do that. I don't have anything against this. But that is true, man. That is true. JF says, Combs winning in Philly, ball control, offense, no turnovers, stopping the run and create 2 turnovers. That's the formula. Terry's going to go, oh, yeah, we need a big Terry game. We do. We need another big Terry game. We need a Terry. The 2 games that he's had so far, like we need him to keep playing that and keep that momentum. And we saw Terry with a screen catch run up the field like that, not get tackled from behind. Like, he's gotten tackled from behind a lot this year, and that's something that he said he wanted to improve on, and he certainly has done that. He certainly has done that for sure. Let's see here. Some other comments that I missed. Homemade Ranch said 2 more to go, man. 2 more to go, guys. 2 more to go. Fallum says HTTC. Shout out to Fallum. Let's see. I'll probably read a couple more and then wrap it up for the night, guys. Thank you for being on the stream. We've been on for 2 hours and 30 minutes, guys. 2 hours and 30 minutes. 2 hours and 30 minutes. Steven Dent says, when heard Lions coaches talking about interviewing for head coaching jobs, I figured they weren't ready. Our coaches were locked in. Yeah. Ben Johnson was ready. He had 1 foot out the door. He had 1 foot out the door for sure. It was either the Raiders or the Bears. He ended up signing with the Bears and becoming their coach. And then, like I said, he already had a defensive coordinator waiting in the ranks that he hired, that he's going to hire for the defensive coordinator job, and Dennis Allen. Now, Cliff, he shut off interviews. I love what Cliff did. He was like, "Yeah, I'm done. I'm not going to interview anymore." Now, Joe Witt Jr., I think he's taking a different approach. He's still taking interviews. He's got an interview with the Jets, or he actually already had his interview. Aaron Glenn was doing interviews, of course. Let me see. I know Joey Jr. just had an interview. Anthony Lynn has mutual interest. Yeah, so Joey Jr. just had an interview with the Jets today. The Jets have interviewed everybody, though. They interviewed Mike Locksley. They've interviewed a lot of – I think they interviewed Ron Rivera. So if you've coached for about a year or done any type of coaching, I think the Jets have interviewed you. No, not to Joey Jr. I'm happy that Joey Jr. has gotten interviews, especially after the game that we had yesterday or Saturday night. You know, a lot of people are going to be calling for his services for sure. If not this year, then next year for sure. Tyrell says, I know we're supposed to have confidence and belief in our team, but as a team, we always stay humble. Let the Eagles fans talk all the trash they want. Yeah, definitely got to stay humble, man. Same thing with the Lions. The Lions were talking big trash. They're the podcast, Lions podcasts, and the Lions YouTubers and stuff like that. They were talking big trash. And we know what happened after that. You know, they were like, your third worst rushing defense and your rookie quarterback, you think you're going to come in here and stop that and stop us? We have 60 minutes until we're hosting an NFC Championship game. And your rookie quarterback is coming in here. And that's not going to happen, you Commanders fans. And I love that. Like, I love when other teams say stuff like that, bulletin board material. Just like the Eagles radio, they've already given us bulletin board material. The Bears fans gave us so much bulletin board material. Armon Ross St. Brown gave us bulletin board material. Ben Johnson with the basketball guys comment gave us bulletin board material. Who else gave us bulletin board material? A lot of guys have. Cam Taylor Britt with the college offense gave us bulletin board material. So I love that the Eagles have given us their radio show, Whip Radio Sports is giving us bulletin board material. So I love that. I love that for sure. Jut said, die, Eagles, die. Yes, sir. For sure. Steven Al or AI, you're a funny guy. Steven just had laughed my butt off. I saw that shady. He was sick later that day. Yeah, he was super sick. He had to own up to it. And take that walk of shame. For sure. You know, we want the Eagles to talk trash like that. We want that. We don't do that. Our guys, we usually don't do that. We don't do a lot of talking around here. We don't do a lot of talking. We're about business. We stand on business. We're all about business and standing on business and taking care of business. We let other teams do all the talking. 110%. Ralph said, Ed, my guy, I love 100. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to my guy, Ralph, man. All love for sure. Quincy Jones said, one game at a time, y'all. Let's deal with Philly. Yes, Philly fans are the worst in the league. I used to work at the stadium. Oh, my gosh. You used to work there? Goodness gracious. I know that was rough. I know that was rough for sure. Yes, one game at a time. One game at a time. Yes, I'm with you on that. I understand it's easily to get excited and think about the Super Bowl for sure. But yes, we have to keep our eyes on the prize and just focus on this one game for sure. We're not overlooking anybody. Let's see here. I guess we'll do one more comment and then wrap it up. Loser said, how do we block Jalen Carter? You're going to have to double him. Trent Scott, Tyler Biotis, you're going to have to double him. That's what you got to do. We're not going to be able to stop him one-on-one. It is what it is. He wreaked havoc against the Rams for sure. He really did. He saved them in that game. If he's not there, they don't win that game. And that's a fact. Even though Matt Stafford he disappointed me with that pass at the end. Like, that was just ridiculous. Like, bro, like, at least give the receiver a chance. And he didn't even give the receiver a chance. Like, he threw the ball out of bounds. Like, there's just no way that he could have caught the football. So that was disappointing for sure. Yeah, Jalen Carter had 2 sacks and 2 tackles for loss. So he had a huge game. He was huge for that game. He really was. But like I said, you can't hit what you can't catch, and Jalen Carter was not able to catch Jaden Daniels. D Fresh 94 said Philly can't stop our offense. King Betts Jr. said double team Carter all game. Chris Hunter said something about it happened on Sunday that never happened before. I love that. King Betts Jr. said Dean being out for Philly will be big. I'm not sure. So is Cooper DeJean? Oh, Nakobe Dean. Okay. He got injured. Let me see what happened. Nakobe Dean. Oh, yeah, he got hurt the first game. He got hurt against the Packers. So that is unfortunate. For sure. They got a backup named Oren Burks who plays a linebacker. And Zach Bond is really good too. He's been a stud this season. Yes, Jack, I'm happy too, man. I'm happy too. Yes, the forced fumble by Kyron, that definitely changed the game. Like, that was a big momentum change. And they still could have won the game with the forced fumble. Like, if Matt Stafford would have gave his guy a chance to catch the ball, they still would have had a chance. Shout out to Captain Obvious, man. He said, let's break some beaks. I like that. Quinion Mitchell is going to play. Yeah, Ricky Cutchin, I said that too. Sean Hockley's going to ref the game. I'm not a fan at all. All right, you guys. Thank you guys for joining in. It's 10:12, so I'm going to wrap it up. And I definitely will try my best to make a video tomorrow. And, definitely go live after the game. Not exactly after the game, but probably Monday for sure. So this has been a lot of fun, guys. As always, Health Commanders, man. Left hand up, guys. Left hand up, man. Left hand up. We want all the smoke, man. I can't wait. for Sunday at 3, man. This is history and historical, guys. As always, man. As always. And LiAngelo Ball performance, swerve on the corner, man. That might have been a reason why the Lions lost. I'm just joking. All right, you guys, left hand up. Health Commanders. Peace.